Well, I guess it's time. It's time for the show to start. It's 7 o'clock. I mean, Central Time. But hey. Hi. Rob, Order 42. It's what we're doing tonight. How's it going? How are you guys? Look. There's a lot going on. There's just a lot going on. But yeah, how are you guys? In fact, I can't even see, because of the stupid poll, I can't even see who was first. Who was first? Was it Ricky? Was it Ninjinzu? Was it someone else? I can't tell. It was Ricky. Welcome, Ricky. Welcome, Ito Ramos, Cosma, Ninjinzu, Pixel Phoenix, Bonobo Juice. How's it going, guys? I don't see anything wrong with Lucasfilm. Well, I don't know. I think there's got to be something wrong, but we'll talk about that. We're not at that point yet. But welcome. Good to see you. And Skeleton Crew does look fun. We're going to talk about that too. And Ninjinzu, this is basically what it is because of the Osmo. I've been videoing every time we go hiking. So I figure, hey, why not use it for the intro kind of thing? Like a video at the beginning, just show where I was. By the way, we were in Graham, Texas, as in Graham cracker. Graham. I think you just say it Graham. But yeah, it was cool. It was awesome. Did this thing where you kind of go up this hill and it kind of goes up to the top, and it's sort of like it's kind of an island, and it was cool. It was really, really neat. And yeah, man-made lake, and got some really cool footage from it. So now here's the funny thing. On the way out there. So, okay, stop. Let me go back. Last week, April was on vacation. And one of the things that she wanted to do on vacation was she wanted to update her car with CarPlay. Well, because it's an aftermarket sort of thing and it's not built into the car, things don't quite all work correctly. So like, if you turn up the volume while you're listening to the radio, no big thing. But if Siri or whatever happens to be talking at the time, you're turning up the voice of Siri. So April was messing with it in the car while I was, I think I was getting waters and stuff from the little gas station or whatever. So she ended up turning it up all the way by accident. So then we're trying to plug in where we're going. We're driving down the road, hit the little Siri button, and it was like, and seriously, it was so freaking loud. It scared both of us. Like she swerved, and I mean, it actually hurt my chest because I reacted like I'd been shocked or something. It was so freaking funny. And I laughed for like 5 minutes straight because I thought it was so damn funny. And that's what it sounded like. And it was just like, oh my God. So anyway, long story short, we still haven't really fixed the thing. And it's unfortunate because it was actually really expensive, because you're basically having to buy a new head unit and then some sort of box to interface with the car. And I actually, we were going to do it for both cars because, why not? Right. But I don't want to do it to my car because I've heard, I was reading on the BMW forums that, man, there's some nightmares happening. Like there was the most recent box for my car. They said the last iOS update basically bricked their system. Like it wouldn't work at all. And I'm like, I can't have that. So we didn't do it to my car. But hers, she was like, yeah, there shouldn't be an issue. Everything that we read was like, yeah, this shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, one of the things that it does weird, and I don't know if anybody cares, but I think it's kind of interesting, For some reason, as soon as you hook your phone into CarPlay, it no longer uses it for iOS now, not Android, but only iOS does this, which doesn't make any sense. When you plug it in, it uses the GPS in your car instead of the GPS on your phone. So what ended up happening is randomly it would shift us to where it looked like we were like 100 feet to the right of the highway. And it was like, and it kept saying, proceed to the route and all this stuff. And it wouldn't tell us where to go. And I'm like, this is not great. So that's one issue. The second issue is we can't figure out how to have Siri talk to you while it's playing music. Like she's turned all the way down. I say she, like it, but you know what I'm saying? We can't figure it out. So, and it turns out that April hadn't updated her phone and stuff like that. So I have no idea what's happened since then, but it was stupid. It's been kind of dumb. So it's one of those things where it's like, we spent quite a bit of money to get this done and it's not working right. Time to switch to Android. No, not me, at least. If she wants to, she can. But I don't want to mess with that. And dude, there's so many, I can't even tell you. If you have Macs, if you have Apple TVs, iPads, the way that everything works together is great. But I don't understand that idea that, oh yeah, you're going to hook up to the car. Okay, well now we're going to use the car's GPS instead of the GPS built into the freaking phone. I just don't get it. And yes, they are pretty much the same phone, but there are things that Android does better than iPhone. There are things that iPhone does better than Android. But it's really about you and your own personal preference. I mean, I don't give a crap what you use, I'm just happy people are happy with their phones. But that's a stupid thing. Apple shouldn't be using the GPS in your car. What's the point? What exactly is the point for that? Does it use less power or something? I'm sure it does, but that's stupid. I don't like it. I think there's separate volumes and it's not clear how to adjust them individually. Well, what's weird is once we paid attention, you can see that when you turn up the volume, it's like a speaker. And then when Siri is talking, which again, not talking, not during the navigation, like you can hit the button and it'll, the Siri button in CarPlay and it'll say, what can I help you with? Or whatever she says. That'll work. But as soon as the navigation starts, you can't turn her up. And I don't understand where the option is to turn that up. Or maybe she had it turned off because she was, I have no idea. I have no idea what the issue is. But yeah, once it switches over to the Siri volume, it turns into a person. There's a little icon that turns into a person. Did you hear that? Apparently I need to stop saying Siri because I have no idea what that was. I have no idea what my Siri was doing. So you just sit there and be quiet and don't bother me. Okay? So it's just a weird thing. But again, seriously, I laughed so freaking hard. She said the last time I think I saw you laugh that hard is an episode of Malcolm in the Middle when the whole episode Dewey is chasing a balloon. Anybody remember this episode? And like the whole episode, it's like he's chasing this balloon, and then toward the end of the episode, he finally catches it and it pops. And the look on his face, the sadness on his face, I lost my mind. I thought it was the funniest thing. I loved it. I thought it was so funny. And then something else, I can't remember what, something else gets his attention and he starts chasing that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I laughed really hard at that. But yeah, we had a good time. Nice little trip. But what that also means is that I haven't had as much time to watch movies and do things like that as I'd want. In fact, I didn't work on my scripts at all last week, like at all, zero. So I need to get back to that. But anyway, yeah. So there you go. Let me get caught up here. I've done that. I left my stereo turned up, then I hooked my Bluetooth, and when I hit play, it was all blah. Yes. Oh, I've done that plenty of times too. Plenty of times. Or you turn it up because you're jamming to something, and then you forget, and then you turn the car off, and then when you get in the next day, it's like all of a sudden Careless Whisper is like blaring in your ears, and you're like, you know what I mean? That I'm sure that's happened to everybody. But yeah, it's stupid. Adding CarPlay is annoying as hell. Had it on my Lexus, but took it back off. Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna have to go up there and maybe raise some hell because that's stupid that it doesn't work. They're essentially the same phones nowadays. Yes, iPhone equals easier to use for older people and all around, as well as better video camera. Android, more customization and better picture camera. Well, I mean, I think that's, I mean, that's debatable. I mean, the customization, sure, but like me, I don't care about having anything customized. Like I have, seriously, that's the weather wallpaper. I don't need to look at my wallpaper all the time. And then I have the same wallpaper on my background that I've had for seriously like 7 iPhones. And it's just a cool little gradient thing it's neat. It's a neat wallpaper. I like it. It works for me. That's all I care about. I don't need, well, don't you want all your apps in it? No, I don't care. I don't care. I use like 4 apps most days. I use mail, messages, phone, Safari. Okay, more than 4. I use those 4. But then, you know what I mean? It's like I don't need, hey, I can change the color of my freaking what do you call it? I don't care. I have dark mode. When I got dark mode, I'm like, okay, now this phone's perfect. That's all I cared about was dark mode. But anyway. I used to like that Apple always has the better screen and response. Oh yeah, man. I mean, look, all the phones pretty much now, they're pretty close. They're pretty close. And before anybody starts going with, oh, well, Apple stole this from Android and Android stole this from, I mean, come on. Think about I was working at Sprint / well, we were still Sprint when I left. They were still Sprint, but then they got merged into some. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if you remember the phones that came out before the iPhone, the touchscreen phones, they sucked. Every one of them sucked. Android stole the pinch and all that. There's so much stuff that they have stolen from each other over the years. It's pointless to argue it. It's pointless because they both take from each other. And I think honestly, Apple coming onto the market with their phone made everybody's phones better. So cool. Like, I say the more the better. In fact, I wish there was something separate from Apple and Android, like a different operating system, not Windows, because that wasn't great. I used one of the Windows phones, and Trio. Remember Trio back in the day? No, those weren't good either. BlackBerry, forget about it. But another one, a different one that has a different whatever. I think it'd be cool. And it would make the other two work harder to, you know what I mean? Everybody needs to work harder, and so that, and I hate oh, well, Android's had that for blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, well, I've been able to use my phone, and I don't have to restart it all the time. And you know what I mean? It goes both ways. Everybody's got their thing. Just use what you like. If you like it, cool. Well, I just don't like Apple's practices. Really? You're cool with Google and everything Google does. Okay. Like if you, hey, you know, hey, nobody's perfect. The navigation voice is annoying when I'm trying to listen to a podcast. I'll tell you that. I turn mine off to where, especially when I'm going somewhere where I know where to go, but I go ahead and start it just in case there's, a traffic or whatever and it routes me a different way. I turn it to alerts only, or to I don't remember what there's completely off, but then there's one where it's like if there's a hazard in the road or if there's a change in navigation or whatever, I turn it to that. So it's not talking to me and interrupting me in front of in the middle of a podcast or whatever. I hate it when I'm jamming to a song and it's like turn left in 50 feet and I'm like I whatever it says and I'm like I know I've been this way before. I know where to go. But the phone doesn't know that. Anyway, I didn't watch Malcolm in the Middle. I didn't either. This was literally we just happened to be watching this episode and it made me almost pee myself. I almost peed. It was so funny. Anyway. Steve, what's going on? Pixel Phoenix, I think I said hi to you, but hi. You just told Siri to sit there, be quiet, and don't bother me, which is really all most men want from women. Go figure. Well, it was more of a just don't bother me in the middle of a freaking stream. Are you kidding me? You kidding me, Siri? But Pixel, what kind of questions did you have for the Terminator 4K, Rob? I will say that I haven't watched it yet. Only just got it in the mail. Okay. Well, here's what I would like you to test. Okay? If you're here. Are you still here? Pixel, are you here? Pixel. 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 Pixel, are you here? Hi. If you're here. We might as well just talk about it now. Okay? We might as well just talk about this now. Where is it? There it is. There it is. For those of you who didn't know, the Terminator 4K release came out today. Now, of course, this is the Steelbook that sold out in like 4 seconds. It didn't in 4 seconds, but it sold out pretty quick. So all you can get is like the regular edition. But anyway, Terminator. And it's the 4K release. Of course, James Cameron has come under fire for his last few releases because of the AI upscaling, the anti-grain, whatever you want to say. They've been controversial. I myself, I loved The Abyss. I thought The Abyss looked, out of the 3 that were released on the last go-round, so it was Aliens, True Lies, and The Abyss. To me, The Abyss was by far the best one. Aliens was a close second. I thought Aliens looked great. Billy from the Game Chasers. You know, the Game Chasers? Do you know the... Anyway, he said that watching Aliens, he could see some of the artifacting that comes along with the AI upscaling because he used some AI upscaling for something and he could see the differences, right? For me, I didn't notice that and I loved it and I thought it was great. And I thought Aliens looked better than it ever has. And I will probably watch the 4K going forward. I have the Blu-ray. If I want to watch the Blu-ray, I can watch the Blu-ray. The dark, the muddy Blu-ray. I prefer the new transfer, but that's fine. True Lies had more problems. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't tend to focus on problems. It was obvious that there were problems in True Lies. You know, there were a few scenes where it was like, it's not right. So with the Terminator, everybody was kind of worried because this is his first movie. This is from 1984. You know, a lot of it's, I mean, all of it's pretty much practical effects. There are some visual effects in there too, but for the most part, very practical. Shot on a budget. Is it going to look super fake and super whatever? And every review that I've heard so far has said, hey, this is a really, really good transfer. This is really, really good. So here's my question, Pixel, if you're still here, catching everybody else up. Pixel, I looked today to see if the digital releases got updated with this new transfer and saw that it was available on Prime. I didn't know that it was on Prime in 4K. So I pulled it up and it certainly looks like a lot of the screenshots that I've seen that look really, really sharp and detailed, and they look really good. So I'm kind of curious, for those of you who are on the fence, if you could watch, because I don't know for sure, but for somebody that has Prime and has this 4K, it'd be interesting to compare the two and to see if the Amazon Prime digital version that they have that you can just watch on Prime, if it's the same transfer that's on the 4K. Now, of course, there's going to be things where, you know, it may not look quite as good because of, you know, digital compression over the internet. You're streaming it rather than it, you know, getting the full bit rate off of the disc. But I am curious. I am curious about that. And I thought that maybe you, Pixel, or Vinny, because Vinny got this one. Either one of you, if you have access to Prime, can you look at that transfer and see if it's the same? Because I think even the coloring is more natural and less. I think there was one release that had like a blue tint to the whole thing, and then there was one that had almost like a green tint, you know, where it was almost like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just curious. I'm curious if anyone else has the 4K disc, if they have Prime, if they can look at it and say, hey, that's the same transfer just over streaming. Because I would like to watch that one to see if it's worth me getting this. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Because here's the thing. I'm getting older. I've said this before, but I'm getting older. And the fact is, I've seen the Terminator so many times. I don't know if I'm going to watch the Terminator that much more in my life. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen that movie so many times that I can almost give you a play-by-play of what goes on in that movie. I've seen it so many times. So is it worth me at $25 for the standard edition to pick it up on Blu-ray on 4K, or maybe wait for a sale or whatever? I'll probably end up picking it up when it's on sale sometime. But I would be curious if they're using that same transfer, because that's what happened with Lord of the Rings. You know, Lord of the Rings did that. When they released their 4Ks, they upgraded all of the digital versions across all the different services because, let's be honest, they're all the same. They're all pointed to the same file, pretty much. But they updated those. And so even though there is some loss, the digital versions that I own of Lord of the Rings got updated to the 4K releases. I looked at them and I go, yeah, those are pretty good. But again, Lord of the Rings is another one where it's like, how many more times am I going to watch that? So I didn't buy the 4Ks. I have the Blu-rays, I think. Don't I? I don't actually know if I have the... Doesn't matter. All I'm trying to say is I'd be curious to know if they're using the same file or if it's a different one. So there you go. Now I need to get caught up, and probably you've answered the question and I haven't seen it yet. When I worked at Apple, CarPlay customers were the worst. Apple doesn't play nice with other systems. I mean, I can definitely see that. It irritates me that they would even release something that says CarPlay on it if it's not going to work right. And I don't know about other people, but I'm also probably the nicest BMW driver you'll ever see, because I see that all the time, you know, just certain different memes, you know, random posts here and there. I just see, oh yeah, BMW drivers don't use their signal and they don't do this. And I'm like, I do all those things. I let people in. I'm a kind driver. Now, I will say, if you're going slow, I'm going to go around you because I can do that. In my car, I have more than 4 cylinders. And not to say that 4 cylinders is bad, but I have 6. Supercharged and turbocharged. I can get around you. So I'm not going to just sit behind you with your going 5 miles under the speed limit in the fast lane. I'm going to go around you. And if that makes me a dick, well, then I guess I'm a dick. but I don't think I am. Anyway, so yeah, we were very patient with those because we took it back up there because it didn't work. And they had to switch out the radio to a different radio. And it still doesn't work right. So I don't know. And maybe that's it. And maybe it's as simple as Apple doesn't work well with any of these aftermarket systems. And if that's the case, they should tell people that. Hey, don't waste your money. Here's the deal. Be upfront about it. Don't take the money and then, I don't know. I like my 3D sphere for my apps, Rob. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I had the Doom game as a wallpaper. It played itself. I could tap to acquire weapons. Pretty neat, but drained the battery. Apple TV Plus for Major League Baseball not working. Where did you guys work? The way Rob uses his phone makes him a young boomer, proving Apple is the top choice for boomers. But how am I using it I do... What do you guys use your phone for that is so that you need the customization and that you need, oh my God, I need this app to be able to dial into a server, or what the hell are you doing on your phone that's so important that I'm a boomer because I use Apple? Steve, aren't we roughly the same age? But I'm just curious. I'm honestly curious. What are you using your phone? Because I have multiple devices. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like, well, I could do it on this tiny screen, or I could do it on this 27-inch monitor. Or I could do it on this little tiny screen, or I can do it on this, 13-inch laptop. Or maybe that's it. Maybe because I have multiple devices, I don't need my phone to do everything. And that's not a, oh, well, I have multiple devices and you don't. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Samsung makes all the screens for both phones anyway. Exactly. Touchscreen wasn't good until iPhone and Droid. I never used a Droid. I used all the Samsung phones, all the Samsung devices that were touchscreen, the big, like I remember one that was almost like, it was thin, but it opened up and it had another, wait, is that right? I want to say it had another screen here, and then there were buttons over here, and it was a weird, bunch of weird devices. And the touchscreen was always, it was always shitty. I always hated the touchscreens. Ugh. And then iPhone comes out and it's like, oh, that's the way it's supposed to work. Cool. WebOS was the best too. Too bad Palm Pre went away, but WebOS is now used in LG TVs. And it's janky. WebOS is janky as hell on my LG TVs. I don't know about yours, but it's like hitting button. Okay, I want to go down 3 levels. Bam, bam, bam. And then it's like, I'm like, what? Okay, what exactly are you doing, TV? That takes up so much processing power that, oh my God, he selected down. What do we do? So I don't know about that. The Windows Phone had a stronger CPU than it would have been great. Oh my God, what just happened? I'm so far behind, guys. I'm so far behind. And look at this. 55% of the people in here apparently don't like movies. So, see, I went off on Apple and Android and stuff, and now I'm so far behind. All right, let's see. Let's get caught up. Say everything calibrating as well. I love my Palm Pre. Loved your BlackBerry. The future is now, old man. The present is now. Android, Windows, BlackBerry customers were nicer to deal with than Apple customers. They demand more and were more Karens to my fellow staff. Now, I mean, like I said, I don't even know. Subpoenas? Bueller? Hi. The future's later. What? I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know because iPhones didn't come out on Sprint until after I left. So I don't even know. In fact, I moved from Sprint. As soon as I quit, I moved from Sprint to AT&T and never went back to Sprint. And now Sprint, I don't even know I can't remember what happened. Did they get T-Mobiled? I think they got T-Mobiled. I don't know. Battery fiasco on iPhone 6. Note 7 had battery issues too. That's all true. Bucho, welcome. Good to see you. What's a game chaser? I mean, Billy is AI. Billy, are you here? Someone called you AI. And Filbert's here. Welcome, Filbert. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy International Tie Day. Tie Day. But welcome. Men's Day. I don't even know what that means. Kobo Bunny Music. Glad to see there are other small channels like mine. Well, welcome, Kobo. If you're still here, you might have been like, this guy doesn't even talk to the chat. I do talk to the chat, but I'm way behind because I went off on a freaking tangent because that's what happens on Order 42. F and Scalper selling them on Amazon and eBay already. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Ricky? Not sure what you're talking about. And I'm on live chat. I'm not on top chat. I'm on live chat. Click on live chat, everybody. Gladiator Gang, yes. I'll see if I can compare the two and check the transfers. Obviously, the quality won't be the same through streaming, but I can check the color grading, grain, and edge enhancement, DNR, etc. Pixel, I would love to hear your thoughts. And again, it's not like I'm not trying to give you homework, but it's almost like I would like to know. I'm just curious if that's the same transfer just over streaming. Because if so, that's really interesting because, again, I could just watch the movie and go, yeah, okay, I've seen that for this 10-year block. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've seen the Terminator so much, I don't know if I need to see it again. Of course, that's what I thought with Aliens too. And it was like, oh, I gotta buy it because it's Aliens. So I don't know. And maybe that's what it is maybe I'm not as big a fan of the Terminator movies as I am of the Alien movies. Maybe that's it. And if so, hey, put me in jail because I love the Alien movies, okay? Better than the $74.99 eBay asshole scalper. What are you What's going on? Is everybody okay? Old man power. Cosma? Well, yes, exactly. Do you ever pick up movies from eBay? I got a couple on the way and we'll reveal when they come in. Shozama, I have picked up some movies on eBay. In fact, the ones, wait a minute. Those, the ones that I, like last week or the week before? Which ones? I didn't put it on the list. That would be stupid. I wouldn't do that. I would just hold them up. The Gotcha Man, the Shaw Brothers Classics Volume 4, Hills Run Red, and Come Drink With Me. All of those were from eBay. So, yeah. And they were running they were all brand new. They were all sealed. And they were part of some like 20% off deal that store was running. And it's a huge store. It's like, this is just a store. This is just like Orbit DVD or Diabolic or any of them. This is just a store with a bunch of movies. But they were running like, you can get 20% off of this group. You can it was like a 40% off of these. And then like they had a bunch of different, they had them all, you know, I was going to say segregated, but that sounds, you know what I mean? Own little groups of movies. Just like, was it Groove or Grove or Groove or Grove or Groove or Grove? Anybody know? Which is, by the way, is owned by Universal, which I did not realize. But they are also running some crazy deals right now, and I have 2 movies coming from them. Because they were in my wish list, and they were like half price for what was in my wish list. So I picked them up, and they're on the way. I should have them this week. And, freaking, who was it? Who was it that posted the, I can't remember now. I'll have to look. I want to say it was Pixel. Oh, you probably put it in physical. Beep, beep, boo. Yeah, Pixel. Yeah, Pixel posted his Blair Witch project that already got here. Well, guess what? I pre-ordered from Diabolic, and I'm still waiting on it. Now, okay. Dallas Fort Worth, right? It's pretty big. It's pretty big. There's a lot of people, right? My Blair Witch project got to Dallas on Saturday. And it's still not going to get here until tomorrow. Why is it taking 5 days to get from Dallas to Fort Worth? It doesn't make any freaking sense. But I'm still waiting on my Blair Witch project. I'm waiting on the 2 movies I got from Grove, whichever. I've got and some other things from Diabolic. So got a lot of stuff coming because I'm insane and I'm gonna go broke. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes when you're into physical media, man. And you're into movies. So anyway. Let's see. Kobo Bunny Music, which is an amazing. I don't even know what that means, but I'm intrigued. But this person says, even though you might quibble with the quality, it's always best to have at least one physical copy of your favorite movie because streaming can always pull movies away from their collections. Oh, don't I know it? Don't I know it? I mean, there's been many times where I'm like, man, I really want to watch that. I don't have a copy of it, and yet Netflix took it off, or Disney licensed it to a streaming service that I don't have, or whatever. Like Peacock and Paramount are the ones that have their stuff kind of locked down. And unfortunately, I don't have them. So, yeah. But no, I understand that. But The Terminator is a movie that, even though I could say that, yes, it's probably in my top 20 all time. It's a great movie. But I've seen it so many times. I just don't know how many times I'm going to watch that again. And it doesn't, especially when there are movies that I either really love and I want to see again, like right now. Or, I mean, just like, okay, Blair Witch Project. How many times am I going to watch that? I don't know. But it's something about knowing that this is a new transfer, or it's not I mean, I guess it is a new transfer because it's based off of the original 8mm and 16mm film. It's like it's a new thing. I got to see this. I want to see this and all the special features and all that stuff. And that's a movie that's important to me. It was important in my movie journey, I guess, because I got to see it way before anybody else. And I was sitting on my thoughts on that movie for months. I want to say months, maybe 2 months. But it was really cool. It was really cool to be able to be like, oh my God, I saw this. But it's seriously not that cool because you can't talk about it. You don't want to ruin it for anybody. But anyway, Carbonite, welcome. And Carbonite, I got a surprise for you later too. In fact, let's see. Okay, well, I don't know if you were one of the people that told me, because what I have here is I have for this movie, I have Ricky, I have Max, and I have BC. All told me to watch this movie, and I finally watched it. So yeah. But we'll get to that once I get caught up, which may be, I don't know, 3 hours, because I'm so slow. But anyway, BMWs come with a cobweb cleaner for the turn signal. I use my signal all the time. I use my signal turning into my own neighborhood. And there's no one around. I use it all the time. I use it with every move I make because I want everyone to know where I'm going to go. because if you're in my way, we're going to have issues because my car will be inside your car and I don't want that. And you don't want that. So I use my signal. There you go. There you go. Crapple CarPlay. Android Play sucks too. My Luke Skywalker land speeder works well with CarPlay too. I doubt that. Because it came out in 1975. I think. 76? Oh, they were filming in 76. Anyway, I prefer Bluetooth. Hey, I mean, I'm fine with that. You know, I have Bluetooth in my car, and when I want to use it, it's fine. It works fine. But there is something to be said to not have to look down at your map, to have it on your screens, you know? Especially like, dude, I love the way that, and I'm sure everybody's car, you know, mine's from 2014, so it's an older car, but the navigation is really cool when you use the, you know, the built-in, I almost said inbuilt navigation, which is, I believe that's a British thing. They say inbuilt, not built in. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is when you've got your turn-by-turn directions, I have a little screen right under my speedometer that'll pop up and show you what lane to be in and all that stuff. It's awesome. The problem is those maps are from 2013 or 2014. So they've reconstructed the whole Metroplex. Everything's different. All the lanes are different and everything. So it hasn't been updated. And it costs like $700 to update it. I'm like, screw you. I'm not paying $700 for you to update the thing. And it's stupid. So basically, I'm going to wait to get CarPlay until I get a new car. A new to me car. Because I've never bought a new car. Just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway. They want to feel like they're in the Matrix. Everything is what I do on my phone. I don't have a laptop or monitor, Rob. Well, I'm just saying. Well, uh-oh. Did you post a link or something? Is that what happened? What happened? What happened? I can't even see what happened. I have to click over here to find out what happened. Dashboard. Timeouts. 1. Oh, you posted links. Oh, no. Oh, man, that sucks. That wasn't a link. Okay, so, Ranjit, I apologize. Nightbot went a little crazy and timed you out for a bit, for 5 seconds, for posting links, although it wasn't a link. It's 7 a.m. morning here. So I apologize for that. Sorry about that. I apologize. Anyway. I am Android, but hate doing anything on a phone. I always have desktop or laptop near me. That's how I am. I mean, I just don't do a whole lot on my phone. What's weird is, like, there are times when I have my iPad there, I have my laptop there, and I actually watch a video on my phone, and I'm like, what am I doing? I have, like, a much bigger screen, like within reach. Like, why am I using my phone? So I don't know. Steve, boomers are 75 plus years old. Not me and Rob. Maybe Pat. Maybe. Patricia, you talking about? Do we need to... Excuse me. We don't want to summon Patricia. Okay? Rob is all, I have multiple devices. Boomer is a mindset. I mean, true. But I think as soon as you start thinking, you know what? When I was a kid, you're getting to that point where you're not boomers are older people, right? And there's 60s, 70s, 80s. It's not really boomer. We're not really boomers, but once you start getting to that point, you can just say, oh, we're middle-aged now, which is a little scary. Sprint gone. Was talking about the Terminator, Rob, if you would read us onto, okay. Scalpers being assholes and scalping. Oh, you're talking about the steelbooks. Well, the steelbooks, I mean, it's kind of... Anyone here if Gladiator 2 is supposed to be good or not? Integrity 101. If you're still here, the reviews have been really good for Gladiator 2. I haven't actually read them, but overall the it's been pretty good. Now, what I have heard, so like bam, enable ads. No, Rotten Tomatoes. No, I'm not going to enable ads just for your stupid site, because guess why? You inundate with ads. So no, we just won't use you. So I'm not going to use it. 75%. 75% favorable on Rotten Tomatoes. Screw you, Rotten Tomatoes, for your ads. But that's why I block ads. Is because holy crap. Which basically means that 73% of the people, of the reviewers that went and saw it, gave it a favorable review. I say that's pretty good. But it's probably one of those where it's going to hit some people really well, and then some people are going to be like, eh. I will say that just like the first movie, Gladiator 2 is playing a little loose with history. So if you're expecting a history lesson and for it to be historically accurate, you might have a problem. But from what I hear, it's just an entertaining thing. But sorry about that. Range it one more time. Sorry about that. I hope you're not too mad. I don't know. Sorry about that. Mine got here pretty quick. I think it ordered from Second Sight directly, and that's from the UK. Well, see, that's the thing, though. So what happens is, this is just my guess, but on release date or close to release date, Second Sight will have them delivered by release date. So Diabolic probably got it on release date, then put it in the mail, and then USPS, for some reason, it's weird how like USPS sometimes you'll order something and you're like, wow, I ordered that like 17 minutes ago, right? Like, okay, exaggerating, but like it'll get here like really quick, 2 days, 3 days. And then like this, in this case, I don't think it shipped until Thursday, but then it said it was going to take till Wednesday to get here. And I'm like, really? And then it got to Dallas, like I said, on Saturday. Usually when I see that it's gotten to Dallas, I'll get it the next business day, which means I should have gotten it yesterday. But no, it didn't get to Fort Worth, the Fort Worth distribution center, until yesterday. And then it sat there all day today. Usually, like I said, I should have had it by now. But USPS is just being stupid for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm excited about Gladiator 2, not just because it's Ridley. You know, I'm a huge Ridley Scott fan. If you've been here for any amount of time, you know that I'm a Ridley Scott, almost to the point where I'm a Ridley Scott apologist. You know, even his movies that don't really review well, I can find a lot of positive watching those movies. I'm excited because a lot of people seem to be really enjoying Gladiator 2, and I think it looks amazing. I was worried about it because it was like, how do you follow up Gladiator without Russell Crowe? I mean, like, I just don't know. But hey, it's coming out and people are liking it, and I'm seeing it Thursday. So I'll have a review up Thursday night, and I'll probably end up talking way too much about it. I'm just going to warn you right now. I'm probably going to talk a lot, and it's going to be a long one, but it should be good. It should be good. So I'm excited. They just said good morning. Yeah, it was because it saw 7.am and thought that was a link. So again, I apologize for that. That's just because you put the period in there. It was like, oh, but I don't want to take that off. I don't want to turn that off because, well, we have had not scammers. We've had the bots in here before, and it helps with the bots, but whatever. P-mount and paracock. And Rob is behind again, of course. Hopefully Nightbot chills out. Yeah, exactly. So I apologize for that. It was only 5 seconds apparently. So, To properly enjoy the Blair Witch Project, you must watch that film alone in the dark. It changes the whole experience. Watching with any kind of background noise really hurts the experience. Absolutely, Integrity. See, we got to see it. So nobody had seen it. This was a preview screening. Like I said, a couple of months. The first marketing push had really happened, and I saw that there was a special screening. And me and my future wife went to the screening. And it was an intense experience. People were freaking out. One person threw up. I'm guessing because of the, when they're running through the woods or whatever, but one person threw up and it smelled like Mexican food, like for the rest of the screening. It was kind of gross, but it also, man, when anything weird happens in a theater, it adds to the experience to me. I told the story about watching Prometheus, and during the surgery scene, a guy had a seizure behind me and had to be taken out. He was okay, but it was still one of those situations where it was like, it added to the intensity of the movie. It was amazing. But you're right. You need to be locked in. In fact, I think that good movies, if they work well, no good movie should be interrupted. No background noise, no nothing. I try to watch movies when April is not here, or when April is, if it's a big bombastic movie, I will wait until she's gone so I can watch it, crank it up, crank up that Atmos system, right? Do the thing justice. But in a lot of cases, I have to watch it either on a lower volume or with the headphones in, and that's not as fun. But anyway, we absolutely do not say inbuilt. Leon, I have seen that. By the way, hi. Good to see you. But I have heard British people say inbuilt. I have. Some kind of savage. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I don't even know how you can use the internet without an ad blocker of some sort today. That's like going in with no glove. I'm surprised no one said anything about this fresh cut I have. I mean, look at that. Ooh, man. You know what I'm talking about? I was looking in the mirror and was like, I think it moved a little bit. That's not true. Nothing moved. That's not true. But anyway, I got my hair cut because it was getting long. Anyway. Please make an effort to say but anytime you say but. It enhances the experience. Okay, well, that's tough. That is tough to say. Tough to do. But I appreciate it. UPS and USPS are iffy right now. I've been waiting on car parts to fix up my Lexus, and one got lost in transit. I don't want that. Lost Generation, 1983 to 90, 91. Okay. I am a Generation X. I know that. I know I'm a Gen X. Generation Alpha. The Blitz. Zillennial. Okay, so you're right in there. Okay. I don't remember. I think I saw it in the theater when it came out. Blair Witch, I mean. Why is OBS trying to find devices on my local network? I'm going to hit allow, I guess. I didn't do anything. It just popped up. I don't know. Blitz YouTuber. Thank you. Welcome. You say that haircut looks cool. Thank you. I mean, I just told him, hey, don't cut it too short. I hate it when they do the fade and then they fade this part. And then what happens is when I have it like all feathered back, it just spikes out like a stupid porcupine. I hate that. So I had to tell them, hey, don't do that. And they said, hey, okay. And so it looks better. But welcome. Good to see you. Leon said that like 45 minutes ago. Maybe the Scottish or those bloody Welsh. Us English, nope. Well, I've heard it. I just know I've heard it. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say, hey, Leon says inbuilt all the time. I mentioned that you're just behind. I'm late. How's your face? Hi, Jerry. How's it going? And it's fine. It's fine. You can still kind of see where Blade Runner, the box of Blade Runner, attacked me viciously, savagely across the face. Not so much here or here, but right in here. Yeah. Sliced my face open. But it's better. It's better. Rob, you'll get some leg tonight for sure. Tell us how you do. AI gone rogue? Maybe. OBS become self-aware? Nope. I heard Americans say away take instead of takeaway. My source? Well, I heard. You could rock the O'Connell haircut from The Mummy. I probably could. I'm just that good. Yeah, and I don't know why you were yelling at me, but I appreciate that. We need a cooler word for haircut when you get a haircut that looks incredible, like hair slice. Dude, check out my hair slice, bro. I don't. That's the exact way I asked it too. Well, that's exactly. Yeah, I mean, I got it. We're right there. Leon, that's those dyslexia people that say they butt cut. I don't know if that's good. Butt cut. That's hard to do. That's hard to say. Got to get that tea in. I wish I had things to show. Like I mean, I have so many movies coming. I don't have any. I can't show anything. I don't have anything yet. Leon might have heard Yoda saying away take, but I'm pretty sure he ain't no American. Oh, American. Yeah, he's not. I thought Merkin. Isn't Merkin the fake Bush thing? Isn't that what those? Because when I said I'm sure he ain't no Merkin, I'm like, he's not a. There you go, fake crotchwick. Yes. What movie did we suggest you watch? Oh, I'll tell you. It's this one. I'll let you catch up. American Great Make Again. Yes, exactly. Yes. That was intentional? Oh, okay. Some people are saying it would be real exciting if there were talks underway between the three fine gentlemen of the legendary Switched On show to plan a 20th anniversary show in February next year. Some people, man, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. That's a good idea. In February 2025, a 20th anniversary Switched On show. That would be amazing. I mean, we'd have to keep things, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun to and do it video, you know? I mean, we could do it here. We could do it at Brian's. We could probably do it at Jerry's. I mean, we could do it. We could so do it. And I think that would be a great idea. So Jerry, if you're still there, what do you think? Think we can make that happen? I think we could. But a Bronx Tale. So I had Ricky, I had Max, and I had BC, who's not here tonight. I don't believe. Yes. Told me to watch a Bronx Tale. Now, I will say, overall, I really liked it. But man, when I can't remember the character, the kid's name. C? I don't remember his actual name. But anyway, when C grew up, it took a little bit of a turn. It wasn't as great. You know, it took a little bit of a turn because he's not the best actor. And the girlfriend, the girl that he was seeing, also hard to watch those scenes, man. He was better than she was, but I felt like this was, it was all of a sudden, it felt like a high school play or something. It felt really odd. But you can't take away the fact that Chaz Palminteri apparently wrote this based on his own experiences. It became a play first, and then it became a movie. Robert De Niro comes in and directs the movie. I gotta say, I was super impressed. I really, really enjoyed it. It almost, in a weird sort of way, it was almost like it was like a Sandlot for Italian people in a weird kind of way. That live in that in the Bronx. I just it was cool. It was cool to watch. We'd be rusty, but would be easy. Yes, it would, Jerry. Yes, it would. We should do it. Shit, we got a channel right here that we could do it on. Just saying. Just saying. We could do it right here. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it. Again, I felt like he what was his name? Is it on there? He's not even listed on the poster. The guy that plays C. Give me a second. Just hold on a second. I'm gonna look up his name. His name is Caligaro? Lilo Brancato is his name. But he played. Now here's something interesting, okay? Or I thought it was interesting. He played a character in one of my favorite movies. Like in one of my it's a movie that nobody really talks about. It will have its 30-year anniversary next year. I love this movie. It's so great. It's so great. Tony Scott directed. Gene Hackman. Freaking Denzel Washington. Yeah. Viggo Mortensen. I'm talking about Crimson Tide. But that character that plays C, the kid in the middle there, played Vossler. The kid that he's talking about, hey, I need more warp speed. Denzel Washington's telling me, hey, you remember Star Trek? And he's like, oh yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, he needs more warp speed, all that stuff, right? That's Vossler. Same guy. Same actor. Here's what's funny. He and I have the same birth date. The same year, the same birthday, everything. We have the same birth date. So it was kind of interesting to go, oh wow. All right. That's kind of interesting. I've seen, like Warren Beatty also shares my birthday. But I've never seen anyone even somewhat famous that had the same to the date. It's kind of interesting. So there you go. There you go. So yeah, A Bronx Tale. I liked it. I don't think it's my in my favorites when it comes to like Robert De Niro, but again, I love the fact that he basically had two father figures in his life. And he growing up, he got a little bit from both sides, which is a really, really interesting concept. And it's something that I think is really cool, that it's not always just your father that you take on, like part of your personality. It comes from the outside too. So from a personality kind of thing, I thought that was really, really interesting and really well done. Very, very realistic too, to think that somebody that you might just look up to for whatever reason might have so much of an effect on you that it becomes part of your personality. I thought that was really cool. I felt like like I said, when it got to when he's 17, it wasn't quite as good. And at the end, it was kind of like, okay, all this happened like in like 20 minutes. Wow. Okay. I still, like I said, overall, I enjoyed the movie, and I really appreciate the recommendation. That was a really, really fun movie to watch. So there you go. There you go. I got to see Chaz Palminteri do his Bronx Tale one-man show several years ago, and it was really good. Yeah, and he was great. He was really great. And to think that Seed took a turn in real life? Really? I didn't know that. But yeah, that's really cool. And then Blitz, you said, hey Rob, there's a fan edit called Star Wars Original Trilogy, The Final Cut. This fan edit was made by David Kaler. You should go check the trailer he made. It's really good. Plus he's made a video about the changes he made for the Star Wars Original Trilogy Final Cut. David wanted this cut to pay homage to Blade Runner, The Final Cut, It's a really good fan edit. It's much better than the Star Wars original trilogy special editions. Well, Blitz, I appreciate you letting me know about that. I'm going to put it on the list. Now, I will also mention as a, what do you call it? Just an FYI, I haven't done a fan edit review in quite a while. And that's for many reasons. One, even though I can appreciate fan edits, number one, who the hell am I to tell you whether something's good or not? You know, fan edits are so subjective most of the time because it's like, oh, well, I wanted this scene in, or I didn't want this scene in. And so it's really subjective to the editor themselves. And so for me commenting on it, it becomes at that point, knowing that that's a subjective thing and then everybody can have their own opinion on what's good and what's bad. Then it's a case of me saying, okay, well, did they do a good job editing? And my problem is I have seen some fan edits that I've reviewed. I won't mention who, but where I've criticized the editing and I felt bad about it not because for any other reason, but because I don't want to stifle anyone's creativity. If someone is learning, I don't want to step on that process at all. There are going to be, as an editor, you will get better and better and better and better and better. But I don't want to be that guy at the beginning that says, nah, this isn't really good. And then it makes them not want to do it again. So I hate that. And I don't want to be that person in there saying that. And thirdly, it became more of a promotional thing than anything, which basically means I don't get anything out of that. And I'm not talking about monetarily or anything like that. It's just that I don't see the point in me promoting a thing that I may or may not 100% believe in. So I hope that makes sense. So that's why I've stepped away from fan edits, even though I really had a good time going through and looking at these fan edits and seeing what people chose to do. And it was really interesting. But then it became a thing where people were just sending me fan edits, and it was just like, okay, I kind of want to watch, an original story now, instead of watching the same version of the same movie over and over and over. And it's the only difference is, oh, this deleted scene's in and this scene got taken out. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. I'll put it on the list and I will check it out if I get the chance. Hold on. Original trilogy, final cut, David Kaler, and you are Blitz YouTuber. So if I do watch it, I'll give you credit for letting me know about it. But again, I don't want to make promises or anything like that because, again, it's just, I got to the point where it was like, I've seen this movie like a lot. The Hobbit, I never want to see The Hobbit. Like, I don't need to see The Hobbit for at least 10 years. Any version, I'm good. I've seen so many. And none of them get there to me. I mean, there are ones that definitely rise to the top. And oh yeah, that's the best version I've ever seen. But for the most part, I don't need to see The Hobbit again for a long time. It's just like I never need to hear Billie Jean. I don't ever need to hear Billie Jean another time in my life. It's a great song. It's quite possibly the perfect Michael Jackson song. But I've heard it too much. Don't need it. Anyway. Isn't that the guy from Night in the Roxbury? Did you grab my ass? I don't know, maybe. I haven't seen Night in the Roxbury. Because remember, I hate comedies. Now you got to watch The Raid Redemption and The Raid 2. I've seen them. I like them. In fact, I think I own the first one. The Raid Redemption. I have it. I don't have the second one, but I have seen it. All you need to say now is your social security number on stream, and those scammers can pretend to be Rob. There you go. And Noir. Welcome, sir. Good to see you. Checking Google, the only celebrity that shares my birthday and birth year is Jessica Biel. Hey there. That's a good one. C is okay in real life was on John Bernthal's podcast, plus C was on The Sopranos as a dipstick. I didn't know that. Vossler. See, to me, like when I see that guy, he'll always be Vossler to me. Because Crimson Tide, seriously, is one of my favorite movies. It may be in, I don't know if it's in my top 10. It's not good. I don't know if it's good enough to be in my top 10, but it's way up there. And it's Tony freaking Scott. I love Tony Scott. Tony and Ridley, man, bam. Love it. Love it. I share a birthday with Anya Taylor-Joy, Martin Lawrence, Selena, Akon, Charlie Chaplin, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Nate Diaz, Gina Carano, Vicky Guerrero. Wow. That's crazy. To be honest, I've never liked Billie Jean. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Famous birthdays. That's not a date. March 40th is not a date. Let's see. I don't know any of these people. Oh, Vincent Van Gogh. Look at that. That makes sense. Robbie Coltrane. I didn't know about Rob. MC freaking Hammer. Eric Clapton. Oh, I did know about Eric Clapton. Tracy Chapman. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nora Jones. Oh my God. There's a lot of people born on my birthday. I don't know a lot of these people. I gotta be honest. That's weird. John Aston. But I didn't see Warren Beatty. But there you go. Anyway. And what's his name? Vossler's not on that list either. By the way. Rob hates comedy and horror. I don't hate either one of them. It's just that I find that comedy doesn't go far enough, and horror is so meh sometimes. Like Barbarian. I don't understand why people went so crazy about Barbarian. The setup was great, and then it just fizzled out and was X. Didn't understand it. Didn't understand why people liked it. I mean, I understood why people liked it, but it was still like, it's not that great. I liked Pearl a lot more. I thought Pearl was so much better. And I haven't seen Maxine yet. But there you go. I watch horror movies from time to time, and I really liked Talk to Me. That one was pretty kick-ass. Even though it kind of ended with a oh, okay. Huh. You know? Anyway. And Blitz, it's it's nothing personal or anything like that. It's just that, man, you get to a point where you're like, why am I doing this? You know? And not because it's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just that I don't enjoy critiquing a fan edit. It's hard to critique a fan edit. So when it becomes, okay, why am I doing this? Then it's time to ask yourself some questions. And I think there's a lot of people out there that make YouTube videos that are just for views. Look, I review Ridley Scott movies that nobody's thought about in years. So I obviously don't do it for the views. So there you go. Anyway. I might watch Crimson Tide tonight. Haven't watched it since it released in theater. Man, I seriously, and it may just be that it's that perfect, like coming together of great acting, directing, the power of the story along with the score. Hans Zimmer's amazing score. I don't know, but I love it. What about a Star Wars fan edit that's about eating Vader's ass? Because that's where the Death Star plans are. But I see, okay, that would be transformative. So that's taking the fan edit idea and saying, we're going to make something new out of the existing. If you could do that, if that existed, I'd watch it. Even though, not exactly what I think of when I think of Star Wars, but hey, neither was that heavy metal Star Wars, and it was awesome. It was great. So, there you go. I had my birthday changed on my birth certificate so it could be the same as Jean-Claude Van Damme's. Bucho, everybody. I thought I had the same year and birthday as Emma Watson, but she's a day older than me. What's the deal with Emma Watson? Like I don't know. I guess it's different shows, it's different things I've seen on the internet, but it seems like the internet has turned on her. I don't know what she did. Like I don't know. Like everybody seems to hate her now, and I don't get why. I think she's fine, but Sergio Ramos was the World Cup and Euros winning Spanish footballer who married Shakira, who then cheated on her. I'm not. Chat disconnected. Uh-oh. How am I so far behind again? How to Train Your Dragon is going live action? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. You also don't know why people went so crazy about Crocodile Dundee. Exactly. Why? Why? Movie's not that good. We don't need to rehash that, but yeah. I remember I think I actually played that clip. Because I think I actually played that clip. I don't know if. Let me see. Oh, I don't even have it. I don't even have them on my thing anymore. Oh wait, no, I do. Let's see. Let's just see. Give me a second. It is not on here. I don't know what it's named. That's the problem. But I have so many. I have so many. What is this?
Have you heard of Black Ops? Judge,
if I answer that question you keep asking me,
you can't handle the truth.
You should definitely say that in court. If you ever get a chance to be in court and they ask you a question, just scream out, "You can't handle the truth."
We use words like code red and wall and strategy and
strategery,
bookworm and
the
cheese. We use lots of words.
And cock ring.
You use them for a punchline. Why is the military using cock ring?
That's the old podcast, everybody. But no, I can't find the Crocodile Dundee one. I must not have pulled that one out for some reason. But anyway. What's the best way to find that Final Cut trilogy? Because I'm not seeing anything readily available. Okay, see, there you go. That's a good reason to bring it up in chat. Is even though I may not be, able to watch it, maybe somebody in chat wants to. I would be curious. I think he's already gone. I'll tell you this, Steve. From my experience, sometimes you have to hunt, and sometimes it's on fan edit sites. And there are fan edit sites that are not exactly. Oh, Celine Dion also shares my birthday. Look at that. Let me see. What was it? Trilogy, Final Cut, fan. There it is. There it is. On Reddit. Oh, this guy is actually sending the links out. So it's 15 days ago. So it's a recent one from 6 months ago. I don't see any links. just on YouTube. It wouldn't be on YouTube. It would get claimed and taken down. Final Cut review. So apparently it's a recent thing. But yeah, I mean, yeah, some of them, and that's the problem, is that I didn't want to link to any in my YouTube reviews. That's another reason. Yet another reason why I don't do fan edit reviews. It's because I can't tell you where to go get them because technically they're illegal. And I don't have my, I will make it legal. Or do I? I don't think I do. Nope, I don't. I do have this though. Anyway. I thought you would like Talk to Me. That was made by YouTubers also. That was a great movie. It was really good. Really good. You know, and here's the look. This is not a thing that I completely subscribe to this sort of talk, but there was a shock jock here in DFW. I can't actually remember his name. He died recently. But I think he said, show me the most beautiful woman in the world, and I'll show you a guy that's tired of effing her. So basically, everybody's got their thing, you know? And if you're not compatible with that person, no matter how hot they may or may not be, it may not work out. So there you go. Maybe Shakira just wasn't in his bag, baby. You know? So Ricky, hope you're okay. You're closing up. So all right. Never seen Barbarian 2022, but The Barbarians is a fun movie. Is that those two? If it's the one I'm thinking of, not for me, but I'm happy you enjoy it. Like Rob doing a Scottish accent. It's been a while. Syrup or jelly? Probably she grew up and it annoyed all the. Maybe that's possible too. I don't know. Internet hates that Snow White actress. She said something stupid one time. Yeah, I've seen that too, but I don't. I that's the thing is I only see the. This lady sucks, not the why. Russ Martin, yes. I used to do work for his producer, JD. Look at that. Yes, Billy. JD. I remember, I liked Russ Martin. I thought he was funny. But he was also a dick. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, sometimes, sometimes they're funny. Every clock's a dick twice a day. What? That's not right. I don't know what my point was. But even maybe what I'm trying to say is maybe like even a dick can be funny sometimes. Anyway. According to Google, some people criticize Emma Watson's feminism in part because of her privilege and the demographic she represents. Critics have accused her of being hypocritical, uptight, know-it-all, not feminist enough. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Lord Helmet would prefer jam, but Vader unclear. It's a good one. How dare he give me the raspberry? I don't believe you. If you really shared a birthday with Celine Dion, you would be able to hit the chorus high notes on My Hot Dogs Go On, like right now. I can't sing. I can't sing without a warm-up. And I need to know what to sing. I don't know what My Hot Dogs Go On. But anyway. I went to that same Reddit post and watched the trailer, but saw no links anywhere. Yeah, and that's the problem with fan edits, is that some of them, because they're trying to dodge being taken down, because, like I said, they're not exactly legal. I mean, you can put the rule up there all the time. You must own the original copy of these movies for you to be able to download this link. But there's no way to check, right? And so a lot of the places that host fan edits get taken down because of that problem. And every studio will come after them, because it's not just Fox or Disney or anyone. It's everyone has a fan edit, and every studio is represented in these fan edits sometimes. And it's just like you can't get around it. So they're gonna get taken down eventually anyway. But yeah. That is a very old saying, but more along the lines of show me the hottest woman you know, and I will show you a guy who's tired of her shit. Tom Lakis was saying that back in the mid 90s on radio. Okay, well, maybe he got it from there. Because I'm pretty sure I got that from Russ Martin. But there you go. Fan edits. Lagano ni Lagano. East Gray area. There you go. So, let's get back to some of the stuff that I've been watching this week. And you can tell me whether or not you have also seen these things. So I watched The Bronx Tale. I enjoyed that, and I appreciate that. I also watched the next 3 episodes of Arcane. I will say at the beginning of episode 5, I was thinking, in my brain pan, I was thinking, this isn't as good as season 1. By the end of episode 6, I said in my head, okay, this is getting really good. Now everything seems to be coming together, and I'm starting to understand, and I'm starting to see where they're going. I'm really liking this. So hey, the end of this weekend, it's the last 3 episodes on Saturday. You should watch Dan to Dan. What's Dan to Dan? I don't know what that is. My chair is spinning. Okay. Look at that nose, man. I got such a beak. Anyway, I also watched the premiere of episode 1 of season 2 of Silo. And I will say, meh. Cake farts? No. I've seen cake farts. I don't need to see any more. No on the cake farts. And no, we're not watching it on stream. I am not getting claimed again. It needs to be at least 2 months, 3 months before I play anything from anyone, except for maybe Santa Pez when it's time. You know, like in the month of December. Santa Pez is that's going to get played. But yeah, it was weird because I was sitting there and kind of going, this is an interesting way to start off the second season. But it was also kind of a, you're going to get to the point? So, I don't know. I loved season 1. I thought season 1 was fantastic. But season 2 started off with a bit of a whimper. I'm going to say a bit of a whimper. Now, for those of you who are not a fan of the movies, you might not have watched this and you might not care. But I love Dune. So I wanted to see what this Dune prophecy was going to be all about. And I got to say, I was left with a, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I was left with a, yeah. Sure. Maybe. Sure. So, I also watched, as part of the Shaw Classics Volume 1, I watched The Sword of Swords and Killer Dart. The Sword of Swords and Killer Dart. Okay, so basically, I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, there's a scene where a guy's got to go do a thing, but he doesn't want to do it, and he's talking to somebody, right? Talking to somebody, okay, and then he turns toward the camera, all, and she's back here, she's talking, and he goes, I won't go, and she's like, but you have to. He goes, no, and then she says, but you must, and then he goes, okay, I'll go, and then Like immediately he's at the place. It's nighttime because it was daytime. It's like, okay, I'll go. Bam, he's there. And the thing happens. The editing was weird in this movie. But it was kind of cool. It's kind of a cool movie. He gets blinded and really depressed, and someone tells him to be positive, and then suddenly he can hear everything. He's like Daredevil, and he can hear everything, and he can do this, and then it was almost like they saw Zatoichi and they said, we got to make a movie like that. And I don't even know when the first Zatoichi came out. Zatoichi. When did it come out? Okay, 1948 essay. When did the movie, the original, the new tale? Okay, so it basically Zatoichi had been out for many years. Anyway, so that's what it seemed like. It seemed like they were just like, we want to make a Zatoichi too. But it was actually kind of cool because there were fights in the snow and in the rain. There's something about sword fights in the snow that just look awesome. And then in the rain too, it was great. But then, man, I'll tell you this, it gets sadistic toward the end. And I'm not going to say what, but it's pretty damn sadistic. So if you're in the market, the Sword of Swords, I kind of like that one. I like that one a lot. And then Killer Dart was actually a really good story. I really liked this one. And the action was cool. The shots were cool. It wasn't directed by like a lot of the ones that I had been watching were directed by Chang Che, which is fine. He's good, but they kind of all feel the same. So it was cool to see some of these martial arts movies from Shaw that feel different. So I really enjoyed that one. And then I haven't watched the second movie on this release. I haven't watched. Don't look at that one. I haven't watched that one. I haven't watched that. I did watch Invincible Fist, which is kind of a misnomer because he gets hurt, so he can't be invincible, and he kills everyone with a sword. So he not once did he use his fist. So hurtable sword guy is what that should have been called instead of Invincible Fist. But I actually really like this one too. Lolier. I don't know how to say his name properly. But he was King Boxer. So he became a star in 1971 because of this movie called King Boxer, which I talked about in the volume 1 of the Shawscope Arrow collection. It's in there. I like that one a lot. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, seeing him as the star, because a lot of times, when you see him, he's playing the villain. In this movie, he was the star, and it was pretty good. But again, not invincible, and didn't use his fist a single time. So yeah. So anyway, what you guys saying? Isn't she meant to be an amazing engineer that takes a whole episode to get over a hole? Well, she also had to use whatever was around, right? Killer Dart, eh? Yeah, what's funny is that when the title screen comes on, it says Killer Darts. So, but this says Killer Dart. But I actually really enjoy the because this one's about let's see. Yeah, so a little girl, her family dies by this guy that uses this killer dart thing. Turns out that he's the student of a master. This master uses the killer dart, and it's basically what he's known for. But she doesn't know that. She doesn't know that his student was the one that killed her parents. So then she grows up thinking that, and by the way, he becomes her master. So teaches her martial arts and all this stuff. So she's basically grown up with this guy who uses the killer dart as his main weapon, but he's not the one that killed her. And it was one of those where I was like, by the end, I was sitting there going, man, this better. I will say the coolest thing that these martial arts movies have taught me is that the protagonist doesn't always have to survive for it to be a good feeling at the end of the movie. Sometimes when the protagonist dies, it's actually kind of cool. And so it kind of gives me ideas for, my stories. Like, I can kill off some really good characters if I need to. Anyway, yeah, I really like that one. And the fact that, you have a female as the protagonist was kind of cool. I'm like, I want more female protagonists, in these martial arts movies, because let's be honest, some of them are kind of a sausage fest. You know what I'm saying? But it was really cool. I really enjoyed. In fact, of the three, I think Killer Dart was my favorite, for sure. Although, like I said, all of them were like really good. And also the Invincible Fist, again, maybe misnamed, but that one was one of Chang Che's first movies. And you can see some of his style there, but his style is more that he has no style. The other movies were more interesting, the way that they were filmed. So it was kind of fun. Let's see. The Franchise on Max is a pretty good watch. Comedy about making superhero movie in England might be up SFX Leon's alley. Already watching it. It is great and very accurate to how working on a big budget movie is. Yeah, he told me about it and I still haven't gotten around to watching it. But yeah, I hear The Franchise is actually really good. The Invincible Armor. Armor, 1977. And I think I've looked this up before. What the hell kind of, what is streaming on Freevee and Prime Video? That's cool. Who the stars here? Do I recognize anybody? I don't recognize any of these names. Kor Yun. But see, like, I love the Shaw Brothers, like, a lot. But some of my favorite fun martial arts movies are the ones that are just kind of randomly made. And those are just, they're almost kind of like I've showed it off before. It's like those sets of like 75 movies in like a, DVD set. And it was like $8 at Fry's or something back in the day. Yeah. I bought a lot of those because they were fun. But there you go. Invincible Armor. I need to, didn't I put that on the list? I want to say I put that on the list. Invincible. I did not put it on the list. Well, Ricky, it's going on the list. Invincible. Oh, come on. Invincible Armor. Ricky. Star Fox. Rain from the show. Don't need to type all that. I know who you are, Ricky. To be fair, his fist was holding the sword. Yes, but damn it. I mean, again, not invincible, like at all. He almost died a couple of times. So I don't know. Not so invincible and not so fisty. Technically, Rob, when he wraps his fingers around the sword, it's a fist with a sword in it. Like an already fully built scaffold tower. You want to see more female protagonist fisticuffs movies, Rob? Have you watched Shadow Strays yet? Indonesian martial arts, so if you dig the raid. Shadow Strays does not sound familiar to me. Bucho. The guy from switched on. I don't know why I'm doing that, because I'm the only one that sees these notes. So it's basically the next time I read it, I'm going to make myself laugh because I won't remember typing that. Rufus the Red. Hi. How's it going? Good to see you. Now see, let's go back to the what's the what? What? Hey, Billy, you're still here, right? The Game Chasers, Billy Chaser of the Game Chasers. Did you end up buying the Terminator 4K? Did you pre-order this or did you skip it? I'm just curious. Because the more people that I can ask that question to, the more people maybe, because like if and when Vinny gets here, I'm gonna ask him because he has the actual he has this. He has the 4K that came out today, the Steelbook. He's got it. But again, my question is, since it's coming out, or since, hey, whoa, time out. I can't talk. This came out today, but I'm wondering if the version of the Terminator that's on Amazon Prime right now is the same thing, the same transfer as this one that's on the disc that I'm pointing at right there. Right there, that I can't touch it and grab it and take a bite of it. I can't do that. That's impossible. If I could do that, that would be amazing. Like if I had like a picture of this over here, and then I reach over here and I grab it and then I take it out and then it disappears as my hand comes in the front. Dude, that'd be so cool. And people would go, how'd you do that? And I'd go, magic. You know? And people would be like, dude, we need to give this guy all the monies. Because he's genuinely amazing. Anyway, by the way, I just want to remind you that the next couple of weeks, seriously, it's getting nuts. We've got so much stuff going on. So many shows coming up. Oh, Paul Hogan. I wonder if it's on here. Paul Hogan. Okay, I didn't save that. So let me do this. Now, Jerry sent this to me 20 minutes ago. He probably left because he's like, I'm tired of waiting on yo ass. But he was talking about my problem with Crocodile Dundee. Well, here we go. We're going to listen to a clip from the podcast back in 2005, 2006, where we talk about Crocodile Dundee and my problems with it.
Now, I just want to know something. In that movie, Crocodile Dundee, why did that scene have to go on for like 30 minutes of him doing it?
He was getting spun up and he was trying to get get everything just right. Why ain't quickly down under? Did he have to wait?
Dude, fuck that movie. Why did everybody go so Crocodile Dundee nuts at that point?
Because
I love
I'd
that
have to get
movie.
down there with the alligator and roll over and over.
That's a knife. Yeah, fuck you, dude.
he's stupid.
That's the best line ever to come out of the Switch Time show. Paul Hogan
It's stupid.
is stupid.
No, it's
I
the
was
way
going
you
somewhere with it,
said
but I was
Jen.
watching these guys.
You
And
didn't even. I was waiting for Rodney. I was waiting for Robbie to give a.
Dear
I don't know. That movie's stupid, and here's why. Instead, it was, man, fuck you. And I was like, there you go.
That was the show. That was the show back then. Oh, that's just part of it, but that was a clip. I hope you guys heard that, right? I enjoy that movie. Yes, sir. I can't even read that. But no, it's just, I don't know. I just don't, I still don't understand the fascination with Crocodile Dundee. So there you go. There you go. How can you make a 32-year-old movie 4K? Well, 35 millimeter film is actually got more information than 4K is capable of. It's got like more information. It's somewhere in the 5 to 6K range. 35 millimeter is. So when you scan it in at 4K resolution, you're actually getting, there's actually more content than what you can actually see in a 4K image. So pixel for pixel, 35 millimeter film has more information than a 4K frame does. At least that's my understanding of it. I think it's somewhere in between 5 and 6K. Anyway, so if you do a new transfer, then it will look clearer, supposedly. But in the case of Aliens, they did a few, like 10 years ago, I think probably for the Blu-ray release, they did a 2K scan of the original negative. And instead of going back and to the negative and doing a 4K scan for the 4K disc, they took that 2K scan and upsampled it using AI. And some people didn't like it. Me personally, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it looked great. In fact, it was better than any version of Aliens that I've seen on any physical media format. But a lot of people don't like it. And some people, it may not be you, okay? I may not be talking about you, but I think some people that criticized the 2K to 4K upsample didn't actually care until somebody brought that up. That, oh, it's actually a 2K image, or that they upsampled from. And then they were like, oh, I hate this. I didn't go back and spend the money. There are going to be some people that can see that difference. I'm not one of those people. I watched the whole movie with these eyes, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So, but the Terminator 4K is basically all I care about, because I've heard a lot of people say that the 4K disc is actually really good for the Terminator. What I want to know is it the same transfer that Amazon is showing digitally on Amazon Prime? Because if it is, that also logic follows that the iTunes versions, the Vudu, all those different digital format or digital things out there, they should all have the same version, which should be the new updated transfer from this latest 4K Blu-ray. That's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Australia was big in the 80s. Yeah, I know, but it was just, I don't like it. The Christmas season doesn't officially start for me until Rob's played the You Better Watch Out, You Better Watch Out, You Better Watch Out, You Better Watch Out, You Better Watch Out. Oh, that's the Santa Pez song. And Bucho, it's happening. It's totally happening. I already have it saved. So it's going to happen. Has me cracked up. Yeah, Cosma, I mean, that's a classic. That was definitely a classic, and I enjoy it. I did enjoy doing the show, and I'm still amazed that, you and Bucho and Bonobo Juice, who's probably no longer listening because he's probably like asleep because he's all like, I'm gonna get up early and go to work. I don't know. But yeah, that clip played real nice. Good. I'm glad. Might be worth another watch of the old T2 then. Well, and that's the thing too, is that the Terminator 2 transfer to 4K was not very good, apparently. I haven't seen it myself. I have the digital version of Terminator 2, but I don't know. I can't tell you anything about it. And I don't know what to look for. Because that's the thing. I'm not watching these movies frame by frame. And I know that some people will say, oh, it's not just frame by frame. It's whole scenes that are just that are terrible or whatever. And I'm like, okay. But if it doesn't bother me when I'm watching it, I don't care. If it looks good, sharp, and it doesn't take me out of the movie, that like True Lies, it took me out of the movie because it was like, she looks like a plastic doll. Jamie Lee Curtis looked like a mannequin in certain scenes. It was weird. And then Tom Arnold looked strangely waxy, and it just looked weird. There was a Predator, I think it was the Blu-ray, where the waxiness of their face, because they did that digital noise reduction. But what happens is it takes out the pores in your face, and it makes it look like your skin is made of plastic. And it looks funky. But from what I saw, I enjoyed Aliens for what it was. I thought it was good. It was like, wow, that's really sharp. I enjoy this. I love this movie. Look at that. Oh, they're killing xenomorphs. I love this. I had no problem. But some people say, well, when you freeze frame it at this moment, then it looks really... And I'm like, I don't watch movies like that. So, I don't know. It's only the greatest movie of all time, just behind the Fast franchise, just behind Adventures in Game Chasing. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, Adventures in Game Chasing is good and all, but it's no Airport 77. You know what I mean? But yeah, just to kind of expand on what I was saying earlier, man, some of these movies from like the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, they look amazing. The new transfers are amazing. They're so good and they look so nice. You know, Double Indemnity, you know, from whenever that was in the 40s. God, that looked good. So good. Casablanca looks great. I have Casablanca digitally, but the digital looks amazing. So I can only imagine, you know, it's amazing. So yeah, film is high quality. And really what we've been limited to from a physical format forever has been whatever that physical format can do. So you had 320 by 240 for VHS or something like that, something really low. And then 720 by 480 for DVD, 720 by 480. Then it jumps up to 1920 by 1080. And then, 3840 by 2160? So you're getting a ton of information, you know, like a ton of information versus what we used to get was like this blown up to whatever size your tube TV was. It's insane, the quality difference. It's just great. So there you go. The idiots did the theatrical one 4K, not the superior extended edition. I don't know if the extended edition is that great. There's some cool scenes. It's just like, to me, it's like Aliens. Aliens is a great example. There are some amazing scenes in the extended edition, but because the extended edition has the introduction to Hadley's Hope before Ripley gets there, I don't like seeing what Hadley's Hope was before. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then I guess you don't know Aliens very well, do you? But that's my thing, is that the acting in those scenes is just not good. It's not good. So I don't like having that there. So anyway, been playing 13 Sentinels and the reference Exterminator 2. Okay. I don't know what those are, apparently. Not Gary. What's good, Robin Chat? Welcome. Not Gary. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Gotta head out. Carbonite. Have a good one. Have a good one. We're about to talk about the new trailers, what's coming up in the next couple of weeks, and the news. So you're missing out on the best. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's talk about this. So December 3rd, coming up December 3rd is Skeleton Crew. Now we're going to talk about Lucasfilm here in a second, but I have to say, Skeleton Crew looks like a lot of fun. I think it looks really good. So I'm excited for it. I don't know. But also, December 3rd, Skeleton Crew. December 5th, we get our first look at James Gunn's DCU, Creature Commandos. So December 3rd, December 5th. And then all the while, we still have Silo going on. We still have Dune Prophecy going on. So man, if you're into genre stuff like I am, we're eating good right now. We're eating good. So I'm excited for both of those. And then a couple of new trailers came out today. First up was the second trailer for Minecraft. Now I get it. When somebody says that, man, that Minecraft movie looks terrible, I completely understand. But the second trailer, if they had released the second trailer first, I think a lot more people would have been on board. Because the second trailer, there's some cool stuff in it. And there's like stuff where it's like, wow, that actually looks good. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Jason Momoa looks weird in there. I'm not sure about Jack Black as Steve. But I gotta say, this trailer worked better for me. So it basically took my excitement level and bumped it up a notch. Which, Let's be honest, it was pretty low. But at least now I'm kind of like, okay, this might not be terrible, but I don't know. And then also, we got the first trailer, the teaser trailer for the live action. I was confused when I heard about this a while back, but the live action version of How to Train Your Dragon, I gotta say, man, the trailer looks good. Now, this doesn't come out for, till June of next year, but man, next year is nuts. There's so much coming out. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews next year. A lot. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. But it's also going to be one of those things where it's going to be like, oh yeah, such and such channel, because they have connections or whatever, they're going to see it 2 weeks early and they're going to have their review out. And then I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to wait until the movie actually comes out before I can watch it. Which means I get fewer views and less growth on the channel. But that's okay, because that's the name of the game, right? It's a grind. The YouTube thing is a grind. And I'm just trying to have some fun. And I hope you guys are here to have fun too. So there you go. They not the M about to rage on this autocorrect. It's a game copyright free referencing Terminator 2 anyway. They, not thee. They, what? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I don't know what you're saying, Rufus, but hey, I'm happy you're here. Still a bit gutted that Mickey 17 got delayed. Yeah, it was weird, man. The synopsis for that sounded a certain way, and then the trailer came out, and I'm like, that is very different than what I thought the movie's going to be. I thought it was going to be more of a serious thing. The trailer made it look almost like a comedy, but I'm still going to watch it because it's Bong Joon-ho and it's Robert Pattinson, and I'm a fan of both. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Bando Stone. I'm not sure what that is. Bando Stone and the New World. Oh. Wait, studio album. Oh, original motion picture soundtrack. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't click on that. Bando Stone and the New... Okay. I didn't even know that was a thing. Gotta say, though, man, I like Donald Glover. He's awesome. Mufasa looks fun. I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, the next month and a half is going to be interesting to watch. You got Kraven the Hunter coming out. You got Mufasa coming out. You got Nosferatu coming out, which I'm really excited for. Yeah, you never do. When I try to fix things, I confuse you further. Kind of thing we do, isn't it? A little bit. But that's okay, Rufus. I'm glad you're here, though. I know a few people working on that. A lot of motion control going on. Ah, okay. I'm interested. So let's finish off. I mean, we got about an hour, but there are a few things left to talk about, including some UAP stuff. Since UAP stuff happened last week, we're going to talk about that too. But Disney removed Star Wars movie from 2026 slate, replaced by Ice Age 6. Now, here's the thing. We got the news that dude, Simon Kinberg, is going to produce a trilogy of movies for Star Wars. And then the news breaks that the Rey movie has been removed from the slate. Now, does that mean that whatever that was, where you had, let's see, Damon Lindelof, there was another guy, and then, and they left, and then Stephen Knight, I believe is his name, the writer for, oh God, Peaky Blinders. He was there, and then he wasn't. Then he left. So it sounded like the Rey movie was in kind of some trouble, and then it gets canceled, apparently, or taken off. Whatever. It's not on the slate anymore. So is that going to be what the trilogy that Simon Kimber is going to do? I don't know. But here's the thing. I don't know what's going on at Lucasfilm. It's a lot of cart before the horse type stuff. We've seen this for years. There's the Rogue Squadron. There was the Benioff and Weiss. There was Taika Waititi. Supposedly he's still doing it. Ryan Johnson recently said that, oh yeah, I'm going to do that trilogy of Star Wars movies, but it's going to have to be after the Knives Out stuff. When? In 2040? What's like, why even talk about it? It's not a thing. It's not a thing until you're on set and ready to make the movie, which is why I try not to talk about stuff that's just, hey, we're thinking about doing this thing, because I've been burned too many times about that. And not by, you guys are fine. But me, I get pissed off. I get pissed off when I say, hey, this thing's coming out and I'm really excited about it, and then it doesn't happen. It's irritating. It's irritating. So I don't know who's at fault. I don't know if it's Kathleen Kennedy, which a lot of people say it is, or if it's Disney, the parent company, saying, hey, you need to announce something. But nothing's in place. We don't know. Just announce it. Announce it and get people off our back. People keep asking about a Star Wars movie. Freaking make a Star Wars movie. I don't know what the answer is. But all I know is I'm tired of hearing about any Star Wars project until they're ready to freaking film it. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. But speaking of stuff to talk about, is the script and funding for Goobins, the movie, in the bag yet? No, Steve, but I'm sure Billy's thinking about that. I can't help but shake the feeling that Kraven the Hunter is going to make me feel like it's Morbin time. Yeah, that is absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. But who knows? Who knows? But man, I'm really rooting for it because I like Aaron Taylor Johnson, but at least it's not David Goyer. That guy sucks. Well, sucks. But yeah, see, anything with a U in it, we should probably be able to put the but in there. But anyway, the whole Spider-Man villain thing is wild to me. I've watched 0 of them. The only one I watched was the first Venom. No, wait a minute. No, I did watch Morbius. I watched Morbius because I played, what is it, Marvel superheroes, and I really enjoyed playing as Morbius. And I'm like, man, he's kind of a funny character. I wonder how he's going to be. Wasn't that great. Movie is not great, but I haven't watched Venom 2 or 3, and I didn't watch whatever the 50 Shades movie. What was it? I can't even remember now. The lady from Dakota Johnson, right? What was the name of that movie? It doesn't matter. I didn't watch that one either. And Vinny, welcome. Vinny, did you get a chance to look at that Terminator 4K yet? Because I know you got it. I saw you that you got it. And again, I'll ask you, just like I asked the other folks that might have gotten Madam Web. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Rufus. I did not watch the Madam Web. It was whelming. That's not what I heard. I heard it was terrible. Like it was awfulness. But anyway, Grandmaster. Yeah, what is wrong with Lucasfilm? Welcome. Good to see you. All I'm trying to say is that I think their problem is that they keep announcing things before they even have anything in place. And I don't know if that's Kathleen Kennedy's fault or if that's Disney's fault. The parent company, you can tell when it seems like, we're not ready to announce this yet. But I think that's what it is. I think Disney is forcing them to do it. But I've also heard that Kathleen Kennedy is part of the problem. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think Kathleen Kennedy is amazing. As a producer, she was amazing. You look at her track record, amazing. And if you really want to look at it, 4 out of the 5 films that she got into motion for Disney, they were successes. One wasn't. The rest of them weren't. Financially, they were successes. So from that standpoint, from a financial standpoint, she's a success. The problem is, ever since then, we've had delay, canceled. We've had, oh, this person's going to do a thing for us, and then nothing. And then they've left the project. Creative differences. Whatever the issue is, they need to stop announcing stuff until you're on set filming. Hey, guess what? This person is making a Star Wars thing for us. And guess what? They're filming right now. Stop with the announcements years in advance. Marvel got in the same problem with Blade, right? So you've got to come to some sort of... I don't understand it. I don't understand how it keeps happening. So now this Rey movie is canceled or taken off the list, probably canceled. Is the Simon Kinberg thing going to be... I don't know. But it's just, oh my God, Raymaster, it annoys me. And that's my problem. Is I have a problem with over-promising and under-delivering. So, there you go. But Vinny, Terminator 2, or Terminator, right? You just got the 4K. If you're still here, great. Terminator 4K. I recently found out that Amazon Prime has Terminator in 4K available to watch on Prime. So I was curious if it's the same transfer that's on your 4K disc. And if it is, that logically means that all of the digital, wherever you stream it from, whether it's something that you purchased digitally or you're streaming it on Amazon Prime, it should be the same file, which means that you could get the digital version of the Terminator digitally for $5 right now. And I'm curious if that's this new transfer. Because many times I've purchased something digitally and then had it upgraded once a new transfer came available. Lord of the Rings being a great example. I bought Lord of the Rings on some sort of bundle sale, and I think it was like $15. And then when the 4Ks came out, they automatically updated my versions of the Lord of the Rings to be the 4Ks. And they're the exact same transfer. Of course, they're being streamed, so it's a little different. But I'm still curious. So if you have the ability and the whatever, I would like to hear your thoughts on that too. And of course, your thoughts in general on the disc and whether or not you think it's worthy of... Because that's what we're all about. We're discussing the things. So hopefully, once you sit down to actually watch it, we can hear your thoughts. Let's see. Wait. Go back. Something Spider-Man looks like it's going to be announced very shortly. Big Spider-Man symbol being put up in New York today. Interesting. Could it be the next Tom Holland Spider-Man? I don't know. Here's the thing. I like Spider-Man. I like Tom Holland. I like movies that make me smile, and those movies make me smile, and I like them. So, we'll see. David Goyer attached to Masters of the Universe. That could be Wicked. Could be. I've never been I've talked about this, haven't I? I've never been a Masters of the Universe fan. Just never have. And it's the part of it is the silly names, Man-E Faces. Get out of here. That's a dumb name. Yeah, but it's like a pun, Man-E, because he's got many faces, so he's Man-E. I get it. I understand. You don't have to. No, but see, you spin the thing on top of his head, and then he's a different guy. It's like a different personality. I understand. I still don't care for it. So basically, every version of Masters of the Universe I've ever seen, I've been like, not for me. But hey, you never know. They will film it, then shelve it. Disney and Disney in general, but Marvel, Star Wars, they've never done that. Warner Brothers is in the practice of filming a thing, letting a thing get to the end of production before you go, this isn't a good idea. Marvel and Star Wars, at least they cancel it before they get to that point. But how much money is spent in these starts and stops? I would be really interested to know how much money has been spent on just developing these projects that never happen, that get announced and then never happen. Where's Rogue Squadron? Patty Jenkins, right? Dude, she was on a freaking tarmac wearing a X-Wing thing, the X-Wing suit, walking up to an X-Wing. That seemed like, holy crap, okay, they're going to do that. And then nothing. Like, what happened to all these projects and how much money was spent? It'd be really interesting for somebody to find out that information, but I don't know. It had webs. Madam Web is the only Marvel-esque 4K steelbook I don't have. I just can't. Internally, there's a power dynamic within Lucasfilm. Okay. Kathleen has her group and John has his, and they're fighting for the power. Okay. If that's true, then Papa Iger needs to step in and go, hey, y'all figure your shit out. There's money times a wasting. Figure it out. So that's what I think. It needs to be figured out. And the fact is, most people will point their finger at Kathleen Kennedy as the issue. So I don't understand at what point does Disney look at this and go, there's obviously a problem here. All of these things that we're making, they're not tracking well. They're not, their reviews are terrible. Yeah, we might be making some money off them, but they're not going in the direction that we want. So at what point do you go, maybe a change in leadership is needed? I call for a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Kennedy. And again, this is coming from somebody who thinks Kathleen Kennedy is one of the best producers of all time. I believe Steven Spielberg when he says that she's one of the best producers of all time. She just may not be the best at running a studio. Because something's going wrong. There has to be a common denominator in all of these problems that they keep having. So what is that? Is it because somebody comes in with an idea and they go, oh yeah, I'll do that because man, Disney, Star Wars, that's a lot of money. Okay, I'll do it. And then they get into it and they go, wow, I didn't know. It could be a simple thing is, wow, I didn't know that you were going to be on my back this much. I can't take this pressure. I'm done. Or is it, I don't know. Did they turn in a script and they go, I'm really proud of this. I think this is going to be really great. Let's do it. And then Kathleen Kennedy gives her notes. And the notes end up being to change so much stuff to where it fundamentally changes the entire story that this person spent all their time creating, and then they leave the project. Maybe that's possible. Who knows? We don't know because we're just the lowly consumers at the end of the day. But I would love to know where the issue is, where the problem is, prune that problem, whatever it is. Look, if it's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, get them the F out. If they're the ones causing the issue, get them the F out. I don't know if that's true, but if it's Kathleen Kennedy, get her the F out. If it's such and such and this, we're Star Wars. We got to move on. Let's move on. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what the answer is. But if that's true, that there are those things, then maybe. But the thing is you'll never hear me say a bad word about Kathleen Kennedy's career. Because, man, her career is insane. So there has to be something else has happened. Either she's not guilty of any of these issues and the issues are coming from someone else, or something about the way that she does her job has changed since she became the head of Lucasfilm. I don't know what the answer is, but it's irritating as a fan. So anyway, let me get caught up, and then if we need to go back, we'll go back. And trust me, I will get to every comment because that's what I do. That's what I do. Does the Steelbook have Sydney Sweeney on the front? If it does, at least it's got that going for it. You know what's weird, Not Gary? I'm a Sydney Sweeney is one of those where I feel like I'm a little less impressed from here up. And when I hear her, it makes me a little bit. Not my thing. I mean, again, visually it's I'm trying to be couth here. And trying not to be your typical, horn dog on the internet. But truth is, she is a looker. But again, from here up, it's like not my thing. Anyway, they should just give the entire MCU and Sony CU to Todd McFarlane and print money. I don't know about that. Like what has he done? That's the thing. I don't think Todd McFarlane hasn't proven himself in this arena. When it comes to movies and storytelling, when it comes to, Disney Plus, he I don't know if he's got those kind of ideas. I don't know if he could, because to me, part of your job as like Kevin Feige, part of his job is cultivating talent, right? He was a great artist, Todd McFarlane, and from what I understand, a pretty good storyteller. In the comic medium, that doesn't always translate. There are plenty of people that can write for TV, but that can't write crap for movies, and vice versa. So I don't know if I just don't know if he's done anything worthy of taking on the MCU or Sony CU, but my opinion. Break it down for my hating ass. Which Star Wars films did Kennedy have her grubby mitts on? Okay. She did, well, it started with The Force Awakens, then Rogue One, then The Last Jedi, then Solo, and then finally Rise of Skywalker. Of those 5, Solo is the only one that did not make its budget back in the theatrical window. The other 4 did very well. All the Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker made over $1 billion. Now you might say, well, look at the box office though. It was less each time. True. That is true. But if you look at the original trilogy, Star Wars made the most, Empire made less, Return of the Jedi made less. All very successful, but that's the way it goes. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 did the same thing, I believe. I don't know about those. I know for certain the original trilogy, Empire made less than Star Wars, New Hope, and Return of the Jedi made less than Empire. So you can't really blame her for that. What you can blame her for is not having a plan when you started. That's a big issue. Now, again, where did that come from? I mean, it's kind of like, when a team sucks, when your team is sucking real bad, a lot of times you can blame the coach, right? Well, but is it always the coach? Could it be that the owner is telling the coach what to do? Some owners are a little more hands-on than others. But most of the time, the coach gets most of the flack. I think most people would agree. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is that financially, when you look at those theatrical movies, the 5 theatrical movies they did, she was, batting 80% is pretty good. You know what I mean? 80%. Yeah. Kathleen is renewed until June 2025 and isn't leaving until then, if at all. But see, that's the weird thing, is that people kept saying, oh yeah, after that Indiana Jones movie, she's done. That's her swan song. She's still around. So I don't know what the issue is. I have a problem blaming it on one person, because I worked, not currently, but I worked in a corporate setting. And from what I understand about corporations, when there is a failure, it's a failure on multiple levels, and multiple people take the blame. So I can't just blame Kathleen Kennedy. And especially since Kathleen Kennedy, at least my understanding is that she is more of a mega producer for all of the Star Wars stuff. But what other, like, how much say does she have about, hey, we're gonna produce 5 different show pilots or show ideas, right? I don't know. I don't know where, like, how much different her job is as the studio head. She's definitely more consumer facing, because as a producer, you never really heard from her when she was just a movie producer. But now she's announcing stuff. She's, doing a lot of interviews and stuff like that. It didn't used to be that way for her. So I don't know. I don't know where the issue is, but I find it incredible. If it's only her, I mean, what a change. But I've also heard people say, well, just because she's a great movie producer doesn't mean that she's a great studio head. But again, I feel like Disney has always treated Star Wars differently than they treated Marvel. Kevin Feige seems to have whatever he wants. Now, when Bob Chapek was around, things were different, and they were, give me 5 Disney Plus shows. Give me 5 of them. Okay, WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, all these shows, right? They tried to do the same thing to Star Wars, and it didn't work. So I don't know where the blame goes. All I know is I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of thinking about it. I'm tired of time after time being so frustrated with the way that these projects come out. You have people that are writing stories to try to jam their own stories in there, instead of, hey, let's tell a good Star Wars story and then flavor it with, because that's what Star Wars always has been. It's a good story, but there's some interesting flavor on top too. Some interesting commentary on the world we live in. It's always been there. That's part of what, it's part of what Lucas did. So I appreciate that. But I don't appreciate it being about the thing itself. And that's not really fair. You've just got half-baked storytelling, And a lot of people, will talk about the Acolyte. No, it's terrible because of this or that. No, it's terrible because it was a poorly run show. The show failed at the fundamental levels. It had nothing to do with, a black lead. It had nothing to do with lesbian witches. It failed because the story didn't grab anybody. And I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of people that like the Acolyte, and that's fine. But from where I sit, the story failed. Terrible editing. Acting was all over the place. From good to meh. From meh to ugh, God. That's horrible. And then the editing was bad. But that's at the writing level. Some of that was at the writing level. So before you even get on set, you've got problems. So I don't know. I don't know where the issue is, but they need to fix it. Bob Iger is leaving very soon. Has already hired his replacement. Yes, which also scares me, because I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Not sure how I'd check something like that. Vinny, don't you lie to me. Don't you dare. Don't you dare lie to me. All I'm saying is, does it look similar? Like, there are, one of the scenes that people pointed out was the scene when, after Reese, at the very beginning of the movie, and this is not a spoiler, when Reese enters our time, the present day, 1984, he falls, and then he kind of gets up, and there's the light is shining on his back, and the detail is supposed to be really, really like, oh my God, on the 4K. I'm just curious if it's the same as what's on Prime Video. Same movie. Just pull it up and oh yeah, it's the same. I'm just curious. But again, I'm not like I said, I'm not giving you homework. I'm just, hey, let me know. Let's see. He respects it and got his chops there and has grown a lot. See, I don't know if McFarlane has done anything with movies or TV. I just don't understand. I mean, I don't know. If Madam Web was an hour of just Sydney Sweeney, it's worth the buy. Possibly. In slow motion. As for the Ray movie from Shinoy, it was shelved many months ago after Steven quit in May. Well, that's true. And it's very possible that at that point, they said, okay, well, this is done. Let's try to find something else. So they announced something positive with Simon Kinberg. That is right? That is his name. And then they slowly, it's just, the Ray movies, just take it away. But that's annoying. Where's the problem at? Where is the issue? Why did Stephen Knight leave? Why? What happened? I don't know. Jody B, what's going on? Shut your mouth when you're talking about a Masters. Hey, again, man, there's so many things, man. There's so many things out there that you're a fan of that I hate, or that I don't like, I should say. There's plenty of stuff that I love and you don't like. Masters of the Universe is just one of those that has never grabbed me. I thought, man, Skeletor looks awesome. And then he starts talking. And I'm like, okay, this is not for me. I thought he was going to be like badass or something. Not sound like it. Okay. I have the power. Okay. No one can tell that that's He-Man. It's worse than Superman and Clark Kent because it's got the same face. Is it even an alter ego? I don't even understand. I don't know He-Man because I look at it and I go, that's just not for me. And I don't like that everybody, all the figures, they're squatty. It's just not my thing, man. But then again, I didn't like Conan the Barbarian either. So maybe that's the problem. Kinberg's trilogy is not happening anytime soon. Kinberg is slated to do 3 Star Trek movies before he even thinks about doing anything with Star Wars. Really? If that's the case, then that was dumb. Dumb to announce it. HBO Spawn is gold. Yeah, that was from 30 years ago. Something like that. And it wasn't that successful. I mean, that didn't become a mainstream thing. It's cool. I liked it. I like the HBO Spawn. And I have many, many Spawn issues from issue number 1. I loved Spawn. But I don't know. I just don't know. Projects that get started but never finish. It's called a tax write-off, my friend. Well, that's the problem. Why should... I just don't get it. I want somebody with freaking passion, man. That's what I want. And that's the thing that I loved about Andor. Andor was a guy, and I'm talking about Tony Gilroy, passionate about telling a story. He had a story to tell, and he told it. And he did it well. So good that I'm thinking, wow, this might be as good as the original trilogy. It's that well done. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know. And maybe that's part of it, is that the internet lets us know too much of that stuff, and that stuff has always happened. But I hate the idea of all this stuff being announced and then never coming to fruition. It sucks. I miss Masters of the Universe. I was a little too young for it, but I'd love a reason to enjoy it now. There's a very small chance it could revive Masters, like the first Transformers movie. I mean, that's definitely possible. And I'm open. I'm open to giving it a shot. Just like I was open to giving other things a shot. I mean, I gave plenty of things a shot. Then I went, it's not for me. But that's fine. Wraith, what's going on? Good to see you. I think they're biting off more than they can chew. Even worse now that shows like The Acolyte had tanked. Are they, though? That's 2 different shows. And they have Mandalorian and Grogu, which honestly should be an absolute slam dunk. It should. Did you just call him Papa Iger? LOL. Yeah, Papa Iger. I don't know. Rogue Squadron is actually in post-production. How is it in post-production, Grandmaster? There's been no announcement, and Patty Jenkins has said that she's developing the script. How is it in post-production? That post-production is, after production. And production hasn't happened yet. So I don't know. I don't see where you're getting that, Grandmaster. If look, I could be wrong, but if that happens, I will take back all of my harsh words on the invincible fist. As I said, he wasn't invincible and he did not use his fists. I'll take my words back, but I don't believe that Rogue Squadron is in post-production. I just can't believe that. If Spielberg says it, then I can trust him. I mean, look, he has gone on the record and said, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy's she's like the best producer he's ever had. But again, just because she's a good producer doesn't make her a good studio head. Many other projects that were announced have been canceled. Oh, I know. Bando and Grogu and Ahsoka. Yeah. And I don't know. Neo woke movement? Yeah, but where is that coming from? I showed a buddy a Dragon Age scene today and he asked me if it was real. Perfect response. Kathleen is powerful friends and they can't get rid of her until she decided to leave her on her own. Okay, well, if that's true, I mean, that's the thing. Where's this information coming from? By the way, hi, Derek. Good to see you. Christian VS, good to see you. Sydney is doing Street Fighter in 2026. If JCVD isn't Guile, then I don't want to see it. Hey, Rob, everyone. Watched a Game Chaser video earlier, and they were talking about your preppy days in high school. Don't feel bad. I had my moments, too. Preppy? I wasn't preppy. There's no preppy here. I was literally shunned for years until, for some reason, suddenly my senior year in high school, like, popular people were talking to me, and I'm like, I don't know why you're talking to me. But yeah, so no, never preppy. Never preppy. And Vinny, yes, only 2 of those are actually good. Absolutely. But we're not talking about good. We're talking about financially. And that's unfortunately the way corporations look at business. They don't care if things are good. They only care if people buy it. And if they can get the docile masses, the cow-like docile masses to go and watch the movie, they couldn't care less if the movie was good or not. It's just the way it works. 9:17. Wow. Am I really 16 minutes behind? Wow. Change Kathleen Kennedy for sure. However, they just need to come up with new shit. Seriously. Yeah. I mean, seriously, my wish is they get away from the numbered movies. Don't do a 10, 11, 12. Don't do that. Just, I don't think that they should have done a Rey movie in the first place. Seriously, get away from that. If you want to tell something in that time period, fine, but do it far, far, far away. A galaxy away, if you will. Far, far away from the story that we know. Tell a story from someone in the Outer Rim. I thought Book of Boba Fett could have been a thing that was like, again, like The Godfather in Star Wars. Instead, I don't even know what that was. There's so many stories to tell. So many places in the Star Wars universe you can tell stories. So many time periods. Doesn't have to be about the Skywalkers or even close to the Skywalkers. You can have the Empire show up from time to time, the Rebellion show up from time to time. You can tell a story outside of that main, of the movies that we know. Do it. And then Andor is another example of a movie that takes place pretty much almost right in the center of a lot of the Star Wars saga, about something that we've never seen before, from a point of view we've never seen before. And it's fascinating. So you can't sit there and tell me that it can't be done. It can be done. You just have to have somebody who's, I don't know, wanting to tell a story instead of, oh, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? Or wouldn't it be cool if that happened? Okay, let's write a story around that. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it. I mean, you could still tell a story like that, but would it be cool if we explained this and that? I don't know. I'm just like, I don't understand it. Somebody needs to tell an actual story and have that as your baseline. You have to have a story, a good story told well. Hey, Oliver656, thank you for that. I don't know if I've seen you here before. I don't remember seeing you before, but thank you for the likes or the call out in the chat for the likes. I appreciate that. Thank you. I got done rewatching Alien vs Predator. Unpopular opinion, I think it's better than Prey. Agree to disagree on that one. I could not stand Alien vs Predator. It made my blood curdle. I mean, I didn't care for it. But Prey I was worried about Prey. I thought, man, Prey's gonna suck. It was just surprisingly good. I don't know if it's actually good. I need to watch it again. But I don't know if it's actually good. I just know it was better than I expected. Alien vs Predator was much worse than I expected. You know what's the issue? Hiring people with credentials and no talent. BSers that have ideas but can't deliver. I mean, I'm not sure that's 100% the problem because look, I mean, we can disagree about almost any creator or director, writer, whatever you want to say. But Benioff and Weiss made Game of Thrones what it was. Now, as soon as they didn't have source material and things started going off the deep end, there are problems. Then they leave. Game of Thrones is done. They sign with Lucasfilm and they say, we're going to make a Star Wars thing. And then they left. And what did they do? They went over to Netflix and started to do the 3-body problem. And I think the 3-body problem was freaking great. So I don't think that's the problem. Now, I do agree that J.J. Abrams hasn't really wowed me with his own stories. But like, he's more of an idea guy, right? Like, he came up with the idea of Lost, and then Lost became something completely separate from what he came up with. And some argue that that's not even any good. But I don't know. I don't know if that's... We'd have to look down the list, but I don't think that. What about, what's his face? Lord Miller for Solo. Was Lord Miller the problem? Or, I mean, we don't know. Nobody knows. That's the problem. Nobody knows what's going on. But they were fired and Ron Howard comes in to finish up Solo. And I actually kind of like Solo. So, I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. Within, she's playing the corporate game. From the outside, it looks bad. But within, everyone is playing the game. They don't care if you are tired and frustrated. They know what they are doing. Well, I can understand that, Grandmaster. But as a fan, I think it's like I don't get excited about anything Star Wars anymore. Skeleton Crew has this much of my excitement. I'm curious. And it looks interesting. But as far as anything else, I don't care until it's on a slate, meaning we're in production. I'm just going to stop talking about it because it irritates me so much. because I'm obviously a huge Star Wars fan. And you can't see it, but there's Star Wars crap all up there. Big freaking picture of Darth Vader over here. And then out those doors are so many Star Wars Lego sets that it's nuts. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And it irritates me that this much keeps getting whatever. So, and there's a lot of people that have already written off Star Wars completely at this point. So, I don't know. Speaking of jamming own stories, that's how I felt about the last several episodes of The Penguin. Really, Derek? I don't know. I really liked it. I loved it. I love the way that they did The Penguin. But again, art is subjective, right? We all have our opinions. They put the story second. Vinny, I don't disagree. Yeah, I'm way behind. How far behind? I'm not that far behind. Hot take, the shows have not been great because the top is pushing junk into the shows that does not fit and the end product suffers. Yeah, but the thing is, though, again, you can look at Acolyte and you say, oh, well, there's definitely some, okay, possibly lesbian witches, possibly there's, gender, whatever. But that's the thing. I lost interest way before they even got to that stuff because the editing was bad. The acting is bad. The writing is bad. So to me, the problem is at the script level. So for people that don't like the Acolyte, don't like it by all means, but don't like it for the right reasons. The reason is the show is not a successful show. It's not telling a successful story. I don't know. That's just how I look at it. I don't think, in my opinion, yes, that is a problem. But I think that those shows weren't well made because the story was bad, first of all. Kathleen refused all 4 drafts that Steven wrote. Is there... Well, maybe they sucked. I doubt that. But I'm curious if that's true. Do you have proof? Or is that in a thing? Lev gap on the figures? I mean, maybe a little bit. HBO Spawn. Yeah, it was good. Andor is Chef's Kiss. Again, you take all the Star Wars out of that, it's still a good story. Like a compelling story. About a rebellion against a rebellion against an empire. It doesn't have to be Star Wars. You could take all the sci-fi out of it. It's still a compelling story. I don't know. Spawn was cool, if not Melvor level cool. I mean, Alejandro Marquez, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Am I watching the new Christopher Reeves doc? I have not seen that yet. That needs to be on my watch list. Yeah, for sure. I just haven't watched it yet. And part of it was because, I didn't want to go to the theater because I knew I'd be a sobby mess. Because I'm a crier. Okay? I mean, unsub if you want. But I'm a crier, all right? I watch stuff, and if it's got emotional stuff in it, I'm probably going to cry. The right commercial comes on, I might cry, all right? So yeah, I know that I would be a sobby mess. So I didn't go see it in the theater. I was waiting for it to come on HBO Max, and I think it's already out, right? So yeah, I need to watch it. The Fist was invincible, though. Ricky, he didn't punch a single thing. He used weapons the whole movie. I'd ask for my money back, but actually the movie was pretty good. Not to throw shade at Masters of the Universe, but as an adult, I can look back at the cartoon and wonder if the creators were up to something with the Adam He-Man thing. They were talking to you because of that thick butt. Maybe. The docile masses, yeah. I still want a Star Wars sitcom. They were pretty close to doing that. I don't know whatever happened. They probably just said, okay, that's gone. But it would be interesting to have fun in Star Wars again. I mean, who knew? Let's have fun. I think it'd be cool. Next, we're getting a Luke and Leia and C-3PO movies. Please no. Ms. Moon. Oh my gosh. Welcome, Ms. Moon. Good to see you. Finally caught you live for once. Yo, can't stay too long, but wanted to drop by and say, hey, Ms. Moon, you're probably already gone because that was probably 45 minutes ago when you said that. But welcome, and I'm happy to see you. And hey, as far as well, wait a minute, Thursday night. I don't know if I could, dude. Okay, so last week I missed most of the stream of Game Dave's stream. So you got Ms. Moon, Pixel, you got Vinny, right? Filbert, they're all from the Game Dave stream, right? I wasn't able to watch last week's stream because I was working on that Gladiator video, which took me forever because I put in so many different clips and then had to cut it all up correctly so I didn't get claimed. Yeah, it took me a really long time, much longer than I expected. So I wasn't able to hang out for the stream. I finished my video up. I'm getting it done, and I pop over there to see if he's still gone. He's already gone. And then this week, Gladiator 2 comes out, and I'm going to see it Thursday night. So I may not make it for the Game Day stream this week. I know. But yeah, it's good to see you anyway, Ms. Moon. If you're here or not, hopefully you at least got to hear me say hi to you. We Outer Rim. Yeah, we need a story about the Outer Rim. Just saying, there's plenty of stories to tell. Far, Far Away implies it's taking place in the same universe as Earth. They should show a movie of realistic Earth picking up transmissions of the events of the original trilogy. That would be... I don't know if that would be a good idea, but hey, if it's done well, I just don't know. I also want high quality production shorts, 5 to 10 minutes. Jerry. Okay. What are those? I think I talked about these. Star Wars Kids. Nope. What did they call that? I don't even remember. But it was basically the Star Wars saga done in small animated shorts. And they were awesome. Wait, I'm trying to find them. Hold on. Is it? It is. It's these. Galaxy of Adventures. These were 5 years ago. But these are super cool. I mean, look at that art style. Look at Han Solo and I mean, come on. Those were amazing. These little things were amazing. And I'm like, seriously? I wouldn't mind if you remade the entire trilogy with that animation style. Look at that. Look at it again. That's awesome. Chewie and the Ewoks. Look at Luke versus the Rancor. Look at Chewbacca. Look at that. Tell me that's not awesome looking. It would be so cool. They probably won't do that. I love AVP, but I'll choose Prey over it myself. I like Prey. Like I said, I need to watch it again. I was waiting to get the 4K, and I keep glossing over it. I don't know. I don't mind cheesy action movies. Probably why I like AVP. Well, I think part of my problem with Alien vs. Predator is that I read the comics as they came out, and knowing how a good Alien vs. Predator story could be, and then I read like there were a lot of them, right? I was reading them. I was like, man, these are great. And then they come out with this movie, and I'm like, how is this worse than anything I've read in the comics? I don't know. It just didn't work for me. But there you go. Ancient alien style lore. And then Vinny says, AVP was so incredibly bad. Like, I enjoy seeing the creatures, but the story movie was oof. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. I'll just say it wasn't for me. Now let's talk about how big of a letdown Wheel of Time is on Amazon. Boy. Yeah. I didn't even watch season 2 because it was just like, I read the books. I enjoyed the books. I'm good. Grandmaster says Star Wars interest is probably at an all-time low. Skeleton Crew will change people's opinions. Jude's performance is exceptional, and there are many surprises. A Jedi will be in the show, not Jude Law. The Skeleton Crew will bring fans back. Andor 2 will bring fans back. Mando and Grogu will bring fans back. Rey's character will not. Grandmaster, you speak as if you have inside information. Now, I'm not saying that you're not being 100% truthful, but you're saying things without proof. And it's hard for us to, I mean, I'm just trying to be honest with you. You know, I mean, Bucho will tell you, look, here's Bucho. Bucho will tell you that this guy is all about being honest. And what I'm honestly getting is I get a lot of information, but no proof. Like how do we know that Stephen Knight's scripts were, rejected 4 times? I don't remember reading that anywhere. By the way, we were going to go ahead and end this poll because I can. But it looks like not everybody's going to go see Wicked or Gladiator 2. Wicked right now, I had it pulled up. Let's see if it is still pulled up here. I mean, look, the movie may not be for you, and that's a thing. But 99%, 2,500 verified people liked Wicked, and 92% of the critics like it. It's very rare for them to be that close and not be something of quality. So I was not planning on seeing this, but I kind of feel like I might need to see it. Wow, that really jacked up my my color there for a second. But yeah. How was season 2 Wheel of Time? Season 1 made me want to cut my balls off, so I didn't watch 2. Wow. Wasn't that bad for me, but it wasn't great. But when you hold a sword, you make a fist. No. I'll fart in your honor. Okay, Ms. Moon. But thank you. Thank you. I wish I could do that on stream. I totally would. But it doesn't work for YouTube. I don't know why. Aunt Beru cooking show win. I mean, why not though? Why not have fun with it? You have all of it with you. Just do it. Why not? Salacious Grum and C-3PO's roommates and Mos Eisley with Sebulba as the landlord. Max Rebo lives above him and constantly makes noise with rehearsals. Why not? Why not? I want to see a full hour of small clips thrown together Robot Chicken style of all scenes, the merchant and Tashi station waiting for Luke to show up or something. Yeah. And I think, and like I said, I think that animation was awesome. So good. I don't think anyone cares about Rey. Like, anyone could have done the role and it'd be the same. I mean, that's possible, but I found her to be incredibly likable. And there was nothing like it took Bucho actually telling me months later that, he said, you didn't think that she was kind of overpowered or whatever. And I'm like, no, I figured there was an explanation for it. Turns out there was. It was a kind of a crappy one, but there was an explanation for her being overpowered because she's the granddaughter of Palpatine. I thought it was going to be because she's, a Kenobi or something. But who knew? All I knew is that I was on board. Like, to me, the main character has to grab you. And Rey, like, I was involved in her story, even though it was very similar to Luke's and all that kind of stuff. I actually liked a lot of The Force Awakens and most of The Last Jedi. And then Rise of Skywalker basically took everything that was set up and threw it away and introduced things that didn't exist before. And it was just, again, it to me, it read like someone read a Reddit thread and went, oh, these are all the things that people don't like. Well, we'll just do this. And when I was on Chainsaw Reacts channel the last time, the live thing, I said something about Chris Terrio, the writer of The Rise of Skywalker. And I actually got flack on that because I basically said the gall of that guy to say that he's like this amazing writer and talking about how amazing his script was. I think Chris Terrio's script was the problem. It was a problem. So I kind of misspoke. But I'm not wrong. The script was a problem. If you watch the special features on Rise of Skywalker, which of course I did, right? I'm a Star Wars fan. I got to watch everything. Even the stuff that I'm not crazy fan of. I got to watch it. I watched all of it. And Chris Terrio stood there and was like trying to, like, the genius of this story was when we did this and blah, blah. And I'm like, there was nothing, I'm sorry, very little genius in that script. Okay. Very little. So for you to say that and then looking at your history, right? Yeah. You won an Academy Award for Argo. Good for you. What have you done since then? Justice League? Okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't a fan of Chris Terrio's script, and I wasn't a fan of Chris Terrio's attitude after the fact. And I still don't think that I'm wrong. It reads like somebody reading a Reddit thread and making a checklist of things that they need to add, including a piece of a knife that has things that you have to line up like the Goonies on a piece of wreckage that's in the water. That, I don't know, could be weathered by, the water. Then the wreckage could shift over time and things don't line up anymore, or it's under the water, or it breaks apart. It's absolutely stupid. So, not genius. Sorry. This is my opinion. Why am I talking about Rise of Skywalker? Oh my God. We need to get off the Star Wars talk. Need to get off of it. But yeah, 60% are not seeing anything. 30 basically saying that you are not a fan of movies. Just kidding. 36% said yes, they're watching Gladiator 2. 3% said they're going to watch both. I want to hear from that person or persons. Whoever, that's 30 votes. So I would like to hear from those people. I want to say season 2 started off much better, but by the end, oh my God, it was so far off the rails. Ooh. Ever play, Spencer, welcome. Have I ever played Dark Side of the Moon album in sync with The Wizard of Oz? No, I haven't. I have heard of it and I have seen things about it, but I've seen video clips, but I've never done it myself. Partly because I don't own a copy of The Wizard of Oz. I mean, I'm probably sure I could probably stream it and I could probably pull it off, but no, I've never done that. Those critics also told me Longlegs was amazing. That movie was as boring as watching shit dry. Wow. I still haven't seen that. I was considering going back and checking it out, but I think you just saved me a lot of time. I have the same opinion as yours on those sequels. Yeah, and the thing is like all I'm trying to say is that I feel like they were building towards something, and then because of this backlash, because people, I don't know, like I just don't get it. Look, it's kind of like I can see you not liking The Last Jedi because of the Canto Bite stuff. Totally. I'm on board with that. I understand it. But if you say that Luke, it's impossible for Luke to do. Did you watch Return of the Jedi? He almost killed his own dad. He literally almost killed his own dad because he said words. Now imagine he's looking into his nephew's head and sees the future. He sees people being his dad being impaled and then thrown down or whatever. He sees Starkiller Base blowing up all the murder and whatever, and him standing there, and he sees this. You don't think in a moment of realization he wouldn't light his lightsaber to, like, oh my God. It's funny though. Star Wars Explained actually did like frequently asked questions about The Last Jedi just like a week ago or somewhat recently. And one of the things that he said was actually really interesting. He's like, yeah, I understand why people might be a little upset that he lit his lightsaber, but here's something to think about. Why would you take your lightsaber in there in the first place? Meaning that Luke might have already considered that this guy was already bad and he was just confirming it. And I was like, that's a really interesting thought that I never considered before. That he took his lightsaber in there when he went to look in Ben's mind, right? Which meant he thought that some shit might go down. And my whole thing is, look, he's basically, in a weird way, he's a lot like Space Hitler, kind of, you know? I mean, not, but you know what I'm saying? But then he had the change and all that stuff, so who knows? Who knows what the future, and the future's not set, you know? The future's what we make for ourselves. Wait. Yeah, anyway. Would you like to see 2 1-minute scenes from the Skeleton Crew? December 3rd is the release date, but you can see 2 minutes right now if you like. Sure. Are these on YouTube? What is this? I never learned to read. I'm not much of a reader. ADHD? I mean, Grandmaster, sure. Discord's great. Discord's great. Do you have the link? Because if not, bam. Come on, Nightbot. Come on, do your job. There you go. What you reading for? How do you have all this time to think? Max constantly practices the Cantina theme over and over, and it drives C-3PO crazy, but Salacious Crumb has Max to rehearse for his upcoming birthday party. Attendance, entry fee will pay for rent. Maybe. Yeah, the books are really good. The Wheel of Time, but I mean, it's a big commitment, but I really enjoyed the ride. Need a show from the Cantina that B. Arthur ran in Star Wars. Gotta have a MacGuffin. It's true. That's true too. Justin Towns, welcome. I don't like The Last Jedi because the whole damn movie, not just that shitty pointless side mission. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But again, where did it go off the rails for you? Because some people say when the your mama joke at the beginning, you know, and that's what I think is funny about The Last Jedi, is that I feel like there are certain moments in movies where certain people will be completely shut off from the rest of the movie because of a certain thing. I call it the disconnect point. It's the point in the movie where you stop letting the movie work on you, and now you're thinking about something else. Sometimes when you're like, this movie is so boring, I've already figured out who the killer is. If the movie is doing its job, you shouldn't know who the killer is until the killer is revealed, right? You shouldn't be ahead of the movie if the movie's doing its job. Now, there are certain people, like my wife, who have ADHD problems and can see things, all that, because she's constantly thinking about 12 things at once. Me personally, if the movie's working well, I won't know until it happens, until I'm supposed to know, right? To me, a lot of people were, disconnected from that movie as soon as he did that your mama joke, and you're like, oh, okay. And then some people, very shortly after, is when the bombs dropped, which, again, there were bombs in Star Wars long before The Last Jedi. But anyway, then some people are like, hey, it's when Luke threw that lightsaber. Kind of goofily. And what sucks about that is that there's a better take. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is wherever you were lost, I think that there's a lot of good in The Last Jedi. It's not wholly bad, but there's some bad in there. But you know what? Like I said, art is subjective, and you are absolutely welcome to your opinion. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. So there you go. Luke should have taken out Kylo. It's not the Jedi way. Am I wrong? It's not the Jedi way. I will send it to the Discord. Tell the host to play them for anyone. Okay. Well, I'm not playing those on here. Absolutely not. I will not play those on stream because no. I'm not getting my whole stream claimed for, 2 minutes of new footage. You can't do it. But I appreciate you putting it in the Discord. Let's see. My issue with Rey being overpowered wasn't that there was no explanation. It was that drama is about characters overcoming obstacles. Rey's overpowerment undercuts that drama. I mean, of course, we've talked about this. But, again, if she's Palpatine or Kenobi, I just thought there was more to the story, that because it being the first part of a trilogy, we hadn't gotten that information yet. You have seen all 8 episodes. How? How is this possible? How is this possible? What I said earlier about pushing stuff into shows, it wasn't necessarily directing at forcing ideals in the shows. It's also choosing people to run shows that really shouldn't be running said shows. Yeah. But, I mean, again, it's all about, to me, it's all about trying to tell a good story, period. And if your story is about a movement, it's not a story. Again, you can have, it's just an example. You can have gay movies, right? Movies about gay people, right? And they could be about the movement and all that kind of stuff. And then you have a movie like Brokeback Mountain that can take somebody who's not gay, and I can completely understand what those people were going through. I can empathize, right? Because it's not about, it's so focused in that it's about something grander. It's it becomes a universal story because it's so focused in. So it's just, I think it's storytelling. It's the ability to tell a story correctly. And I just don't think a lot of those people can do that. I hope they learn their lesson and let one director tell the whole story. I mean, that would be, or at least come up with a plan. Whoever comes up with a plan, come up with a plan and stick to it. Don't change halfway through. Stick to the story. But then again, there's an argument to be made that the original trilogy wasn't written that way either. Oh yeah, George Lucas always said that there was a plan the entire time. There were definitely times when they changed gears. So, I don't know. I don't want it to be the Jedi way. It's the right thing. Is it? Was it? How many series you have watched and which one? What series? I've watched all the Star Wars and almost all the, I don't remember which Marvel ones I haven't watched. Rey acquires powers almost by accident. I still found Ridley's performance charming AF. I just wasn't drawn in by the drama. Private screening. Interesting, Grandmaster. With 60 other people. Okay. So you must be in the thing. It's interesting that you would, I mean, if that is true, again, I mean, you have to, pardon me for being a little suspicious, but it's interesting that you would risk things by saying what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, if it's true, I appreciate it. I just, again, a lot of it's, you can't prove, Also, I think the filming drama really spoiled the cast, so I doubt they would return for more films. Yeah. I don't know. Give them enough money. Money solves a lot. I mean, even John Boyega said recently, he was like, oh yeah, maybe come back at maybe some point. Yeah, because he's thinking that Disney movie was pretty good. So who knows? Pre-Disney, Lucas brought Ahsoka into the mix, and one of the reasons her story works so well is she messes up plenty and gets beat up a ton. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But I also think that she did screw up a lot. She she didn't manifest that in losing an arm or anything. Amazing story with at least somewhat of a plan and seeds planned throughout the entire run as Attack on Titan. What a ride. I couldn't get into it. I mean, I respect that, dude. I watched 2 seasons of that and then I was just like, I'm done. I can't. It's just not for me. But I'm glad you like it. It just wasn't for me. Now, it's getting late. So I want to wrap up with a couple of extra things before we leave, okay? Couple of extra things. I talked a few weeks ago. Kevin Smith said something about getting the rights back to Dogma. Well, Deadline put out an article that says that Dogma 2 is happening with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon returning. And then he tweeted out and he goes, to be fair, I said I started writing a sequel in my head on Thursday night. So a Dogma sequel script is eventually happening, but that doesn't mean a movie is getting made necessarily. And while I plan to include Bartleby and Loki, I've not spoken to Ben or Matt about it yet. So just in case you saw that Deadline article and got like, holy crap, are you serious? There you go. There you go. But here's the thing. Is Dogma 2 a good idea? I don't know. Clerks 2, pretty good. Clerks 3, I really enjoyed, but a lot of people didn't. There might be something there, but it's like, how do you do it without Alan Rickman, man? How do you do it without him? I don't know. But also a couple of other things, or one extra thing that I thought was like, what? Cape Fear TV series produced by Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese with Javier Bardem playing Max Cady. Real Proto Mike. We'll come back to this. Real Proto Mike. Weinstein did own it, but recently another company has purchased the rights and has said to Kevin Smith, hey, let's do a physical release of Dogma. So basically he owns all the rights now. At least has access to the rights and not owned by, serial rapist. So that's a good thing, which means that we could get more stuff from that universe. The problem is, do you want more from the universe? Really, all I care about is having Dogma on Blu-ray. That's really all I care about, and not having to pay $60, $70 for a Blu-ray. I just, that's what I want. So we'll see. And it would be interesting if, sorry, I was reading the chat for a second. It would be interesting if, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a good idea to go back to the well again and write another story in that universe. Because it's kind of like, to me, my favorite parts of that movie, one person is really dead, Alan Rickman, unfortunately, because what an amazing actor he was. But I really like Bartleby and Loki. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were awesome. And Jason Lee as Azrael. They're all dead. So how do you, spoiler alert, but how do you do that movie? I don't understand. Anyway. By the way, you say, Grandmaster, that I won't get copyright hit. These videos are now in the public domain. I have been told that before and have been copyright hit. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing video from another source that I didn't create myself. It's just, no offense, but I just can't do it. 3 of my streams in the last 2 months have been hit with copyright strikes. I'm not doing it again. So, sorry. But yeah, isn't this interesting? Does anybody know the original Cape Fear with Robert Mitchum as Max Cady? Scary dude. And then, of course, Martin Scorsese's version of Cape Fear from the mid-90s with Nick Nolte and Robert De Niro as Max Cady. That was a pretty and Juliette Lewis was the... Oh, yeah, and of course, Her, Jessica Lange. So now we're going to have Javier Bardem play that part. I mean, it could be interesting. It could be interesting. I just thought it was, I thought it was interesting. I'll claim it myself. Vinny, how dare you? No. Okay, so the last thing that I want to say real quick. Let's see. Let me see if I missed anything. I don't know if I just feel like it won't hold up with him trying to make it for today's society. Ricky, I agree with that. Can he get Atlantis back? Possibly. You won't get copy. Oh yeah, I already said that. Cape Fear could be like the Dexter TV show with a bad guy you root for. Grandmaster, thank you. I might do that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. You have a good night as well. I just want to say that the UAP thing on Wednesday, I think it was a fun stream. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of new information. Today's thing that was about Arrow was very eye-opening. But I also wanted to bring this up because, hey, we've talked about this guy before in the past. But yeah, his new movie, The Program, comes out December 16th on a lot of different platforms. And right now you can pre-order it on at least at least Apple TV for $20. Now, whether that's worth it to you, I don't know. I would rather rent it myself than buy it. But this is going to be interesting because I know that there's going to be people that are going to buy this on day one and they're going to watch it and then we're going to have discussions about it. So just warning you, that's coming. December 16th, James Fox, his new documentary, The Program that he's been hyping up for months. It's finally coming out. There you go. I just wanted to let you know, just in case you're interested. Because it will be a show topic. Oh, sure. Oh, for sure. It will. But look, guys, my voice is spent. I'm out of water. Actually, no. There was a splash in there. Hopefully, with Black Friday sales, I will be able to get some liquids.
Thank you for the stream. Great time as always.
Thank you, not Gary. Appreciate that. $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, I don't remember what I was saying because I got distracted by money. But I don't remember what I was saying. I think I was trying to say goodbye. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. But look, here's the thing. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Not Gary, of course. I appreciate the super chat. That's always, always, always appreciated. But I just like you being here. You know, I like having the conversation. Even though I get behind, I always get caught up. And it's fun. We have a good time. We talk and chat and things. Don't leave us. Well, Vinny, you were saying you were just going to do another 2.5 hours. I did not say that. But I have a lot of things to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to see the Grinch musical. I don't know. I'm going. And then Thursday, of course, is Gladiator 2. Oh my God. Oh my God. Saturday. I've talked about Robert Meyer Burnett before. I've said that it's, I like the guy. I appreciate his takes on a lot of things. He is doing his 1000th show on Saturday. About a month ago, I emailed him and said, "Hey, do you need it? You need me as a guest?" But I also said, "Look, here's the thing. I understand that this is supposed to be for your longtime, community, your viewers, and I don't want to take away from them. I would be happy to jump on there and help you through this 16-hour show that he's planning on this Saturday, and it's from 8 a.m. Pacific time which is 10 a.m. Central Time. That would be 11 a.m. Eastern Time. To midnight, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So he's doing a 16-hour show. Now, he's going to have to break it up at some point. It's going to have to be 2 separate shows because YouTube will only allow you to do, I think, up to 12 hours. But I put my name in the hat to be on the show with Robert Meyer Burnett, talk for 30 minutes and discuss things with him for 30 minutes. So that might be a thing. If it is, I will put it in the Discord and let you guys know so you guys can come watch if you want and let you know what time and all that stuff. But he said that he's going to schedule it all and all that kind of thing. But I think it'd be fun. And again, I think I have some cool topics. I don't know if he agrees, or he'll go, I don't really like this one. Why don't we talk about this? I don't know. But you know me, I can talk. We did almost 3.5 hours tonight. So 30 minutes is nothing. But I think it'll be fun. You're saying I'm just going to message Brian so he knows you guys have to do a Switched On Media reunion in February. I mean, that too. But glad he ate her too. Possibly. Yes, Steve. But yeah, Gladiator 2 for sure. I love dude. I love Ridley. But yeah, so stay tuned because you might have a little more Order 42 in your life on Saturday if you wish. If you wish. You may not wish. You may be like, hey, one night a week is enough. But anyway, you guys have a great rest of your week and weekend and all that stuff. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Again, if you're interested in my take on Gladiator 2, Thursday night, it's happening. So that's a thing. Otherwise, you guys have a great one. We'll talk to you later. Bye.